Hey, what are you doing here? It's a Wednesday. Wait, do we stream Wednesdays? I don't know. Apparently today we do. Look, don't question it. Just be grateful for it. What is up? One and all, welcome back. It's time for more of the Homestead Cup recap. Today, we're going to be checking out the Grand Finals. I don't know how long the Grand Finals is going to be, so I figured I'd start with the Grand Finals. Kind of weird, because we'll maybe do the show match afterwards, because I know there was a BC Anatan show match, as Marine Lord had to go home early. I believe he tweeted out something about not feeling well. But I wouldn't let that just, besmirch the victory that B got there. I don't know. To me, Marine Lord looked like he was playing pretty solid. He'll probably feel like he wasn't playing 100%, but, to me, and I don't think he meant it in that way, it's B absolutely earned that victory to make it through. Dude, my arm is very itchy today. But we're going to be kicking off with Grand Finals, best of 9 between B and Lucifron, so first to 5 wins. Then we'll probably check in on the Beastie versus Anatan meme match. And then, I don't know, man. We'll see where the evening takes us. I might spin up some Olden Era myself. I keep rating people playing it. I should be playing it myself. Dude, it's weird because Olden Era games feel so long to me. Even when I just play them against the bots, they're hours long. And I'm like, this is kind of cool, but also, man, you're gonna have to carve out the time. So even in my spare time, I'm up to 124 hours on Dynasty Warriors Origins because I can just pick that up, 15, 20 minutes, do an entire map, done. But to do an entire map at Olden Era, it's an hour and a half. Which is quite a hefty commitment of time. Same with Deadlock, right? It's crazy. Deadlock, you'd assume be longer than Olden Era, but the way I describe Olden Era, I love it. But it's also just when you play multiplayer, it's kind of like you're not playing multiplayer for 80% of the experience, and then you play multiplayer, you know what I mean? Because it's you're playing your own game, and then typically you're building to one big clash to see who's going to be victor, and that's it. Right? But it takes time to get that clash anyway. And are you kidding me? We're opening the Grand Finals with Holy Island? I don't feel like you say that very often. Okay. Well, I guess... Also, let me switch over, because I know I forgot to reset. See, we were almost perfect. We were almost perfect, chat. All right. It is time, one and all. What a pleasure and a privilege it is for me, after 5 years of casting Age of Empires 4, to be able to say this. B is in the Grand Finals of a LAN, an offline event here. He will clash against one of the game's greats, Lucifron, in a best of 9 to see who shall be dubbed champion of the world in Serbia on this occasion. Folks, this really has been long in the making. This has been a slog, a career journey really for B. All these years to build towards this. And I cannot think of a more fitting way than for a 3D clan member to open a Grand Finals like this. Water map. Seriously, I don't know what it is with the 3D members. The Russian community seems to love their water maps more than any other region I'm aware of in the world. And we are going to get Knights Templar. I'll go 2x speed just for the first 5 minutes gameplay here. Lucifer on the other side in the yellow is going to be playing as the English. This has been a stalwart pick of the Spaniards. Both Lucifron and Vortex highly coveting, rating, and proving why this Civ deserves to be seen more of, especially when you add a little paddle and pull onto the side. But what a journey, man. I mean, I've been impressed by this. I had B and Lucifron written off at the start as the two to go on the group stage because I thought everything was going to be tight, very tight at the top, but I thought these two were slightly weaker. And I ate my words. I will happily just fall on that sword and admit it. B and Lucifron, the two people I predicted to be 7th, 8th, no, 1st, 2nd. That's incredible. So what are we expecting to see here? Knights Templar versus English. Kind of interesting, right? Because one of the strategies Knights Templars sometimes like to do is to go for Hospitaller and get a few men at arms and be annoying on land. I don't think you want to do that here. Against English, that's kind of weird because they have healing, they get a knight for free with their landmark, and they could also mirror men at arms, but those are just kind of a bit more chunky. I think instead we're probably looking at a French commandery game here. That would make a lot more sense just to get some French raiders, and then you can poke your opponent on land while defending at sea. For Lucifron, English, it's pretty kind of cut and dry on what you want to do here. Typically, you're looking to just use that king on land solely exclusively at first to raid. And then what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up into a military advantage on water. And the way you do that isn't raw count. With English, it's all about the Admiralty tech, which gives them a +1 range. It's a huge boom. It's a 20% increase to range on your sprinkle chips, and it means that you can gradually trade out and beat your opponent. And as expected, we are getting Kingdom of France. Now, what's interesting on the other side of this is that with the English, they do have the Admiralty, but they also do have a slight discount on water. I mentioned they usually aren't looking to bulk because it's not really that affluent or productive compared to other civs, because like on the other side here, Knights Templar have got that superior gathering rate of wood. In fact, we're already seeing it put to good work, but we are seeing a little bit of a rough situation here, right? Like 7 to 10 fishing, kind of falling behind. That's the pain of going for harbors. Harbors really suck for this. They cost an extra 100 wood. So by the time you built 2 of them, you're -3 fishing boats compared to your opponent. So that is literally the difference between the two. But we should see him kind of shrink that gap just off of the merits of the gathering rates. And Abbey of Kings is about to complete. Boat side, B has not queued up his first. I imagine he's going to be going Springle to begin. Or he could be going Fast Castle. Wait, what? No, he's going Knights. Oh, ooh, wow. So he doesn't go for pressure on water at all. He just straight up goes towards stables. That's kind of intriguing. I guess it does make sense, though, because the thing with Knights Templar is they've got an aura around their docks. The aura gives 15% more health, so it's a lot better to be receiving an attack than fronting an attack with that detail. That's pretty cool, though. Double Knight now, and maybe something that Luciferon was not anticipating. He's being forced to go into an outpost because this forward gold is pretty exposed. This is cool, though. I think we've seen a return to French commandery, by the way. And this man on your screen was one of the front runners leading the charge, as he is with his knight in game here. I think B has done more French commandery games than any other player recently. And he's bringing it back. Like, most people had settled on Hospitalet in like 90% of games now, I feel. And boat follow-up's going to be coming in. So like I said, receive the attack, don't front the attack. Luciferon looks like he's saving for Admiralty. Maybe, but his timing got skewed if that's the case, right? Because he had to build the outpost. He wasn't gathering enough gold because Admiralty cost 500 resources and 70% of the cost is gold. It's lofty, for sure. Speaking of gold usage, that's a lot of gold invested in Chevalier already. He's looking to snipe the king. That's kind of cool. Most people kind of gradually do this. They have a few horsemen to poke and prod him as you go. But it kind of feels like B's just looking for that one slip up, where he managed to snatch the king and get an insta-kill. Water side, Luciferon pushing up. The spear production has begun for Lucy. He hid the racks behind the TC. Nice, cool little wall going up here just to prevent B from getting a dive with the Chevalier. And it is going to be an idol on the gold. That's big. And that's why Luciferon reacted with spears so fast here. He can't afford to be without gold here. He hasn't even got the Admiralty yet. Casting without a tie? Yeah, but it's like, it's a recap. It's different. Hey. I guarantee no one casting this final is wearing a tie anyway. Okay, so Undermesh on the way. I really like this approach from B. Like, he's trying to make it as little about water as possible in a weird way, you know? It seems unusual for a guy, like we said, that usually loves choosing the water maps. But Dive's going to come in. King looking for a target, but nice body block there. Does scout out the archery transition, though. So Luciferon aware that could consider, what, horseman here? Wonder if it'd be better to do the longbow spears. And now the charge in. Whoa, Chevalier, chill, chill. Oh, no, that's not a good trade, right? No way. Guys, like, remember, the problem here is, like, you're essentially one-to-oneing. Because these guys are practically dead. Even though they're getting away, they are practically dead. That's a horrible trade. Look at the price on these guys. It's, what, 170? More like 150 because 150 something because he has the commandery discount. But compare that to 80 resources. Like, this is the brutality of diving English as well. That attack speed aura helps a lot on the spears. Not to mention the double TC fire. I think that's the thing B maybe just kind of slept on there. That town center double arrow shot is dangerous. Well, Luciferon now scaling on the water side. Still ahead on fishing boats. And now also Springled lead. We've got archers coming on land for B. So he renewed assault, a focus towards that gold. I feel like if you whiff once more on attacking this position, though, you're dead. And it is going to be Lombos. I like this. I think this is a smart choice. Going Horseman, you get mirrored by the Knights when you try to counter-rotate. But Lombos defensively just feel a lot better. Like, Lucifron is saying, I actually don't need to come to you. You're coming to me. And seeing as I'm going to receive you, best to have a 7-tower range unit that you can't really dive. Yeah, pretty nicely done. I'm pretty sure this is secure. I think it's just like a weird graphical glitch you get sometimes. You should be able to slip through there. Not that it's going to matter, because I'm not really expecting Lucifron to rush out of his base anytime soon. When you play like this, you're playing pretty turtly. Like, this is the toxic English we've all come to know. It's just most of you guys at home are used to seeing farms and a white tower in the way, whereas he's got fishing, so he doesn't need to build the farms. Even getting the wiggle room for Admiralty now. Huge edge. Really, it's all about land. You can see it by the raw count. That's where B needs to find that big dub. I don't know. I feel like every time we see Chevalier, they feel like they should be underwhelming and then get away with outrageous things, but not sure if they're going to get away with it here. Spears forced to step up. Archer's taking advantage of that. There's a lot of idle time on the gold, by the way. Like, this is a little bit concerning here. You can't scale more sprinkles. And the burn is coming in. Continuous dive. Meanwhile, on water, a little bit of destruction from both sides. Spears to get the charge in, but Chevalier managed to pull away. Really, the king... The weird one with the king is, why is he attacking Chevys? King. Buddy. Pal. Let's calm down. All right, or let's just get down. Oh, no. No. I think that breaks it. The king, you want to be tickling away at the archer count. Villagers have to pull off the gold now. B! This guy's a freaking monstrosity. How did he make that look so easy? Just raw Night Blob here. Remember, these things can never heal, so every fight had to be worth it for him. And absolutely looking worth. Archer's now with a committed dive. Spear count is zilch. Nothing left. Seaside, he's looking for the dob. Struggling to find it. And remember, it's extra range versus extra health here. It's not as cut and dry as it normally would be for English from an assault point here. And the land loss is going to be huge. I mean, the archers could start to reach into the tree line here. In fact, is that an overchop? It's close to. He pulls away, and no, it is a gap! I thought it was just going to be graphical. Well, the good news is the overchop will keep him safe for 2 more seconds, but we're just done. Let's get out of here. Just accept it. B is a god. Give him game 1. Go next. What the... French commandery is back. Damn. I was not expecting it to be that clean of a dive. I was convinced. I was like, there's no way a pro screws that wall up. That must be like a graphical wall. It was not a graphical wall bug, I can assure you. Oh my god. That's crazy. 1 sec. Just loading the game now for game 2. Okay. Also, I forgot to do my my trivia today, so I was just quickly doing that. I do not know. Like, wait, who is Jace Bellerin? And should I know who Jace Bellerin is? I got that one wrong. Oh, it's Magic the Gathering. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't know. I haven't really had much experience with Magic the Gathering. I remember my parents bought me some cards when I was a kid. And they were like, these were very expensive. I was like, okay, we could have just got more Pokemon. We got like double the Pokemon for this. Which is a fair argument. I know many people feel like Magic's good, but also, come on, Pokemon. All right. Let's get ready to go. We got the correct sides? We have. Wait, no we haven't. Damn it. And in we go. Game number 2, folks. B versus Lucifron Grand Finals. And B is already in the lead. Now it's Japanese up against Ottomans. That's right. Lucifron snatched away B's prize possession. The most potent civ in his arsenal being used against him. Can B show us a no way for Japan? Or is this destined to go 1-1 and deeper into this grand final affair? Dark Age Rax Rush opener. Here we go. And the reaction from Lucifron, he's already going more greedy. It is going to be a play towards the opening military school, which means he could be at risk on his goal. In 1 sec, I do need to get a tie because people redeem. I'm going to choose red because the fields will run red with the blood of all enemies. Otto seems kind of 1-1 seems kind of likely. Yeah, but the difference is like the opening, right? I think you need to be quick on the gold here if you're Lucifron. And he is reacting accordingly. Because like if you don't get the gold here, you get blocked out, stuck in Dark Age for a long time. It's maybe the window. I think this is like a weird matchup for Japan. Fast Castle historically has been a bit rough against Ottomans because they can just Giga Dive you. But what makes it even worse is like playing long feudal sucks too. Because you have terrible archers against best light cav in the game. Like there's no great situation there for you, right? But B has just gone for the double spear. I guess we'll fast forward. This isn't really going to achieve much. Double spear here with 4 and gold, it's just irrelevant. So it looks like we are going to be heading into the feudal age with the 2 of them. And spears just have a little bit of poker, that'd be a bit annoying. But yeah, Lucy got what he needed. So that's going to be him securing tech up. Is there a big edge elsewhere? No. 16 to 18 on sheep, so no clear edge there. Opening kind of worries me a bit for Japan. And this is a Japan that just recently got nerfed as well, so it's not like they're stronger right now, they're weaker. Is there anything good about the spawn for him? I mean, he got berries, deer, north side clustered together pretty far out, which makes it rough in its own way. Relic distribution is fairly even too. So, like, there's nothing egregious here that I'd say, wow, it gives Japan this one big leg up you wouldn't expect. A minaret madrasa to be expected here. So, Lucifron going to have plenty of food to work with. Has much really changed for Ottomans ever since the Imperial Council change? I mean, you can't get the sheep anymore, but you'll probably go either, like, imams or a Kinji anyway. I wouldn't expect a Kinji here against Japanese just because they could open horsemen then and kind of feel okay. Because although you have Sipahi, they have got horsemen with Bannerman and extra melee tech. Like, Japan's horsemen, I think, quite often get slept on. They're definitely not the best in the game, but they're far, far from the worst. So Kura Storehouse coming at the back. Both of them just securing the food. It's like the other interesting thing with these two civs, right? They mirror the idea that they get great food landmarks. Because remember, Minaret Madrasa allows you just to absorb and inject a lot of food that's infinite constantly. And then Kura just kind of supplements that farm transition that's very difficult with other civs. I often prefer Ottoman's Madrasa over the Kura, just because the Madrasa is immediately pumping out more clear value, I'd say, because the gathering rates are so high compared to the farms, which are gradual, and they aren't the best gathering rates until you start getting daimyo levels, which are really expensive. But B, he's going into spear archers here. I thought he'd just spears, knowing there's probably going to be Sipahi coming. So a little bit surprised by this, but we highlighted it already. You can't fast castle against Ottomans. It's very hard. You know, you're going to tech, and by the time you tech, they're going to have about 10 Sipahi diving your base with +1 armor, and then another +1 armor from the meta. That's a pretty unkillable force. And then with the attack speed booster, they just turn into villager explorers. There's no easy way to deal with them. But this is interesting. So he's adding in samurai. And it's not just one. Okay, we were having a bit of a debate about this against Golden Horde the other day, like the samurai idea. And I was like, I don't know if that's super effective, but like against Ottomans, you know they're going to end up on Archer's Pahi. You're going to need some sort of front line. This is the dead obvious one in front of you. The cool thing as well is like Sipahi are high base damage initial hit. So if you deflect the shot there, that's quite advantageous, right? Getting 12 damage off the board. And presumably the Yumi are just going to be busy fighting the archers anyway. This is kind of cool. Outpost coming in. 4th samurai. He's not slowing down. Yeah, like this outpost makes it maybe look like he's teching, but I don't think he is at all. I mean, we could see he's not, right? But like from Luceron's perspective, it could be to secure tech, but the other important thing is just you need a lot of gold to get Samurai push going. You need less food than you used to, because remember they nerfed the cost, buffed the cost of food rather from 100 to 90 with Samurai, but still 30 gold. But that's where this spawn is pretty sick for it, right? Like the berries and the gold in one location just give you a lot of secure, and then the deer, it's just to the side. So really everything you need is anchored on this one screen. Spahi just trying to be a nuisance. We do have the Imam point, by the way, so as expected, gets the rejuvenation. I think that's the other thing I kind of like about Samurai is like if you're getting into trickle trades, really bad for Japan. But the cool thing is at least you have this deflective armor to give you kind of an infinite source of HP, just not a very good one, right? It's like you get hit once, you take no damage. But past that, you will take damage, most definitely. He has got Harden queued up now, so Samurai getting upgraded. Archer's starting to get sniped, actually. Needs to be careful. This is the other value point of Yuumi is the Imams. If he goes for it now, there we go. Target fires him in. Forces the recommitment. That Imam. Yuumi, they're going to have to sacrifice themselves if they want the kill. He's chasing for it now, and it'll be disaster if he doesn't get it. But no, he has to turn. He was so close. Lucifron at the last second waiting for the target heal with his brother Imam. Keeps him alive. Look at the bodies. Just not a great affair there. I think he killed a scout and then just all green alongside it. Lucifron continues to scout the Spahi, now confident with double Imam still alive. And also the other thing is like what B just done there is he actually just destroyed his own strategy. The idea of having your archers to get rid of the Imams now just became harder because you just denied the timing. Right? Like, you just sacked 5, 6 archers, which puts you further behind on the point in the game where you can force these healers to stay away from the fight. That's bad news. Could get worse as well. I mean, we're going to be heading into, what, the next tier point soon? I wonder where we go. We could just actually simply go for the sheep, but I wouldn't mind military campus either. I think the reason I like military campus here, guys, is because the problem you now have as B is you have no mobility. So your opponent can farm the sides. And oh my god, he's going to farm the Yuumi. This is the thing, the Samurai might not die, but the Sabai don't care. It's a bypass, it's a butcher. -2 workers straight up. Imams are going to be sacrificed here, though. One goes down, he keeps the other alive. Will be a reset, and with that rejuvenation still running and the lack of Yuumi to just raw snipe the Imam. Now, hold on a sec, Lucy. Calm down. Does back away with the old man just in time there. Yeah, I think the Imam is dead this time now, right? Like, I mean, if you're B and you run back, oh, he's going to have to. You thought the old man was slow. This whole formation is slow. I'm getting old just watching them walk. Lucifron now just getting the extra melee damage because he realizes this is now just about Sapahi to win the game. B's already taken noteworthy damage. 2 workers down. And this is what I meant about the flank. Like, B knows, sees him. Looking at him with envious and angry eyes, knowing he can't go gather the same way. He does anything he can. He gambles. Yuumi leave the base. Sapahi already rotating. It's checking resources. With Wall Barrow, it means the Yuumi will struggle to get kills. And we've got melee text coming in from B. He's understanding what this is about to be. It's a giant melee mosh pit. But, guys, this is worrisome because now, you know, if you're Lucifron, you can use melee armor. Super effective here. I think you'll just stick to attack speed. Typically, if you outnumber your opponent, attack speed is better. But let's say all of a sudden B has 20 samurai, you feel outnumbered. That plus melee armor is kind of insane for the meta. +2 at this stage. It makes up 20% of your opponent's damage. Flash coming in again. Spahi are just kind of dragging him back a little. He peels the injured. Re-engages. He could use Fortitude on the second line here, by the way. And, oh, yeah, I think he already did. Wait, did he start the fight with Fortitude? That's kind of crazy. A little bit weird, but it works out. Drummer Boy goes down, but there's 2 more of them. You can bang your drums all you want, but you're going to be banging them to signal surrender from your opponent at this rate. Yumi raid is about to arrive, and Lucifron's reaction speed is gonna be that of a dial-up internet. He does get found. That's gonna be probably -2 with the Yumi movement speed. Actually, he can get free. Yeah. He's got the time. One more flurry, come on. Oh my god, the formation shuffle again. But the Yumi will just keep surfing in. Oh no, come on. The A-click, the pivot. And the other side, he's got bigger problems coming because he's about to lose more workers. That's a burn on the outpost. Fortification's going to be too late. Archers look to reap, look to receive. Sapai now with the dive through. They've activated the fortitude, so they've got the juiced up attack speed. Ignoring the samurai. Like, this is the problem. They just don't move. But men at arms meta, KP. You said it's coming back. Okay, we need more time to cook, guys. It's not there yet. You know that big beefy kind of Popeye figure, and like that grandpa you don't mess with. But then that one time, you sassed him back, and he's like, "You son of a!" And he gets up out of his seat and he starts moving with his walk stick. He's like, "You wait there. I'm gonna teach you." Did you wait there or did you run? Because I ran, and I was safe. Okay, that was like the umpire. Like I just hit the fourth base. Safe. That's the problem with samurai here. When you don't want to fight them, just don't fight them. Just walk away. It makes them like the most depressing unit in the game to have to play with. I mean, it's kind of the same with men at arms in general. So military school count is looking good, right? No, he only has the one still. That's a little surprising. But Lucifron's prepping attack. Yeah, I was about to say, the military numbers don't make sense. The other time, the worker kills, like, there had to be a reason. It's because he is attacking. Probably just going to keep B defensive still. That's why we're in a cavalry meta, guys. Like, this is a textbook example. The devs tried to buff men at arms, but unless you want to give them a jetpack, what are they going to do? Because this is the thing, like, it's very hard to snowball to the point where feudal men at arms can dive an enemy TC as well. It's not very hard to scale to the point where mass horsemen can dive an enemy TC. New outpost goes up at least. And if B wants to win this, he needs a counter assault soon. I wonder if it's obvious to him now because there's no longer attacks. I don't know. It's nuanced, right? It's like, on the one hand, it should be dead obvious your opponent's attacking because he stopped attacking. On the other hand, it could be that he's not attacking you as frequently because you killed his imam. So because he doesn't have a heal, he has to be a bit more cautious. But B's going to find out soon anyway. 15 on Mohammed. And why is that? That's because Master Pahi, fettered up, can just win. They kind of get absurd. The other thing, by the way, he did go for the meta drum point. I love that. The meta increased movement speed. Look at the movement here. 2.01. In and out at the speed of light on these bad boys. That's really cool. It's also just a spit in the face of this mass samurai strat. It's like, great, you already couldn't catch us. Now you most definitely have no chance. This is like that grandpa trying to chase me and me just getting on a bike. Bye. Moving in. Charge up to 2.37. Just a little bit of idle time being forced, though. And knights have been queued. Veterancy for Sapahi coming in just 35 seconds. And I think we are going to be seeing the score even up. Unless B can pull off one hell of a Hail Mary fast. I mean, gold gathering's locked in now, right? But food is maybe the more limiting factor that concerns me. He's having to set up farms. He's running out of sheep. He's only got what? Yeah, so he's got probably about 900 food. With farms, you could thread the needle into castle, but you're not going to have a cozy reserve to work with when you get there. And you can't really come out to the deer now that knights are on the way. Still, at the same time, if he doesn't tech up fast, those knights are going to eat samurai for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, just look at these poor guys. 12 damage against the Castle-Age Knight. You're not really going to register. No, you're losing, like, almost half your damage at this rate. Or you're losing a third, right? And then in return, you're getting hit twice as hard. Flashing from Spahi. He activates the Fortitude. Oh, no. He doesn't care if it's inefficient. It's about trying to break this position faster. The tech up is at least on the way. I think maybe a little bit overzealous from Lucifron. If he waits just a few seconds longer, holds the Fortitude, and then fronts with Knights, it's just on. So here we go. Re-engages. Fortitude is now on cooldown for 40 seconds, but just the arrival of Knights is definitive. I mean, props to B. He tried something different. Have you guys found a solution to this? Have you noticed any pros coming up with good solutions? Because to me, Ottomans versus Japanese, for the longest period of time that I can remember, has felt like a matchup that has only gotten worse and worse as the months have gone on for Japan. It is a hard beast to butcher. Hard to not get butchered by. It's going to be bye-bye to B's lead. Going to even up in this grand finals 1-1 apiece. A reminder to everyone that Ottomans most definitely is that good. It is S tier. It is undeniable. The timings, the aggro, the follow-up, just all so simple and so dominant. B's just processing the loss at this stage. There's really nothing left for him. He knows it's going to be more knights. And even if you got the tech up, at this point your opponent has such a knight lead, you're not really going to come back from it. Yeah, like, I mean, you could try an Onimusha, but Onimusha kind of need the front line. If you're in your opponent's base, just Onimusha kind of works, but like if you're defending your base, your villagers are going to die because your Musha can't front line. But yeah, it's like, you know, if I'm going to GG, I'm going to damn well make sure that I erect the most incredible gate the world has ever... Finish the gate. Finish the gate. Finish the gate. There we go. Now, we open the gate, and we leave the game. We leave the map through this beautiful gate. There's no way he's going to keep playing this, right? I mean, he doesn't see what we do. He does now, which is there are more knights. There is a lot more knights. GG. Japan definitely not number one. Oh, man. Okay. Nerf Sipayos? You mean Sipahi? Sipayos. I never heard him called that. Alright. So that's 1-1 apiece. What have they got next for us? Oh, where's my music? I like the melons. Oh, that is tasty. And refreshing. Game's taking a while to load. Do you like my necktie, though? I almost look like a rip-off of Fred from Scooby-Doo. Just red instead of orange, you know? We couldn't afford the orange. It's fancier. Oh, we're going coastal. Ibid's Macedonians. Ooh. Now, that's an interesting one. Yeah, okay. Let's spin it up. The epic showdown continues in the grand finals between Lucifron and B. And folks, this one, last time I saw this matchup, I was left speechless at the Ridari's capability to not care about Camel. It's Macedonians versus Ibids. Lucifron with the Ibids in the yellow, B with the Macedonians in the green, and he's already kicking off with a deer gathering opening. Yeah, this is an interesting one to me, folks. Macedonians, I'm not kidding when I say that they went up against... Last time I saw this in tournament, they went up against raw camels on Frisian marshes. And they still didn't care because Ridari are just obnoxiously effective to scale into. I wonder if we could get the same here, especially considering that it's B on the Macedonians. Definitely no strange to the idea of going Ridari, but also the type of player that likes to play the earlier phase of the game. You know, this is the only guy in this tournament that has picked Iabids and then Dark Age Rushed. Actually done it on this map against a Sengoku pick. And looked like for a second it was going to work out. I imagine Lucifron's probably going towards Dervish Wing. Even though they've nerfed healing recently, it's still just overwhelmingly effective to have the two Cambulances. Because even if you can't aggress, it allows you to bypass into the next age, and then you can just pick up relic straight away. Like, it's just win this way or win this way. Sorry, win this way or win this way. And surprise, surprise, Loggy Wing on the way. B will have his own source of healing. That'll come in the form of the Hippodrome, which should be teched into momentarily. Just going to stick on the 2x speed just because, like, it's early game. In fact, we'll go 4x because you guys, if you learn build orders, have everything on screen anyway. And there's no Dark Age aggression. This is the benefit of not being live, right? It's like, you can actually do this. So Hippodrome, probably going to be looking at, like, double Horseman opening, which is a little bit threatening towards the Desert Raider, but it doesn't necessarily stop Lucifer from going for it. This is a cool test, a stress test, actually, of how effective the IB's 1 DR build can be, though. Okay, scrap that. It's multi-DR. I was going to say, because the Desert Raiders, I think the 1 Desert Raider build got nerfed slightly, because when you heal them now, they receive less across the board. So it used to be, like, for example, with the Desert Raider, he always got half healing because he's being attacked and he's attacking. But these guys, if they were being attacked, they would not be tagged as in combat, so they could receive full healing. That got changed in a recent update, so that now healer units are counted as in combat the moment they get attacked. Meaning instead of healing for 7 health every second, they only heal for 3.5. Pretty significant difference. And Lucifron is just going full Desert Raider. There's a window here that's pretty exploitative for this, actually. So keep in mind that B is going to get a nice buff to his Horseman soon, but that soon is still 80 seconds away. And also, because it's buffing base damage, it means that you still get affected by the unease of the camels. It's pretty rough. Horseman, now with the bypass, straight into the Desert Raider. Scares him away, but this is where you can get cheeky if you're Lucifron. Like, you can bait him back with this one and then attack with this one, like that. He needs a pin. Can he get the pin? No, come on. By the way, I would argue what we're seeing in this Grand Finals, which is going to make this matchup in particular interesting, is the 2 best micros in the tournament. I think based on the games we've seen out of every single player in this LAN, B and Lucifron are the 2 best when it comes to micro. Right now, anyway. Or at least based on tournament performance. This is looking rough. So I think what B needed was a cheesy out micro. Right now, this just looks ugly. Scout down, Horseman down, no damage done. A reminder that healing in the Feudal Age is OP. Okay, I'm going to say something maybe controversial. I don't know, like someone's going to clip it and show it to a pro and then, what do you think? And the KP can't say anything on this one. I think you could get your, like, if you learn the basics of a reasonably solid 10-15 minute build involving healing, like Ibid's here, you could probably pretty casually get your way into Conk. I don't feel like players, I mean, you need to have a little bit of micro, right? Like, don't micro like a goldfish. Don't click underneath the enemy TC with your healers. But if you have, like, some conscious thought to how you micro, i.e., you're not Lucifron or B levels, but you're reasonable, and you play a strat like this, I think you could quite comfortably get your way all the way into Conqueror. Especially with the repetition of it just getting better and better and better. It's not impervious. There are solutions. Those solutions typically are, does your opponent have good archer units? And then that gets a bit threatening. But like in this situation, for Macedonians, that's not really the case. You know, going into archers is really expensive and slow for them. Their Borg Muffler are a bit tankier, but they're more expensive. And the problem for Macedonians is they're not a civ that has a good economy. Right? This isn't like picking Abbasis where they also get a military benefit, but they get good economy. The Macedonians just kind of poop on the stick for resources. But he is going for that switch. I mean, he has to. It's 9 Desert Raiders. And I love Lucifron's reaction already. Just hits the brakes. Why do you need more than 9 Desert Raiders? You don't really? He's now looking to tech. Continue to scare away. And the thing is, B can't really show up to the fight with 1 or 2 archers, because if he does, the Desert Raiders can snipe him down. So you really have to temper yourself here. Lucy already adding in Horseman too is a pretty cool detail. With this many ponies against Desert Raiders, the problem is, although you kill them fast, they kill you fast too because of the range tag. But if you add in 1 or 2 horsemen, you can distract in the fight. You can pull your Desert Raiders back slightly, and the auto aggro will go into your horsemen. So it forces your opponent to micro a lot more than you. This is toxic. Please tell me he hasn't got it coming. He hasn't got the stronghold. Stronghold defensive arrow slits is kind of important in these type of moments, right? Like, it's allowing Lucifron to dive a lot deeper than he otherwise would be able to. Other concern here is, like, you're going Archer Horseman, you have no reason to gather gold. So the other issue now for B, not really likely to see many silver tiers here. I think that was just one Horseman, right? That was a Scout, I'm pretty sure, actually. But he got the info. He knows Lucifron's going for attack. Would it even matter the Dervish there? I think it would stop Lucifron's dive point to here, as opposed to, like, here, if that makes sense. Because remember, it's high DPS. It's 10 damage every second. Which means, like, and that's the interesting thing, if this is attacking a unit, and Dervish double heal that unit, it is actually losing health to just the emplacement. Because you'd be healing for 7 on targeted heal, plus the 1 from the AoE heal. So you'd be healing 8 into 10 damage off of just this emplacement alone. As an emplacement, your opponent can't realistically target down with the outpost nearby as well. But tech up on the way. It's going to be Industry Wing. And the horse... Oh! The Horsemen? They went deep. No wheelbarrow here. The villagers... He wants to keep diving, surely. Yeah, he turns around for them. Doesn't go north, though. That might be the game-changing hit. He lost 2 workers, but he claimed 4. He forced a lot of idle time. He still needs to tech up himself, but the good news about being a Macedonian player in this position is teching up doesn't kill you, because the Golden Horn Tower will protect you. The challenge is getting it to protect something that matters. If you look at the spawn, he's already tapped the deer here. This is really far out, but this would be perfect. I don't think he can get this far out to drop a Golden Horn Tower here. So he's going to have to do something defensive in his base, which means although I do believe B will be able to tag, I don't believe he'll have economy to keep him safe in Castle Age. Yeah, I'm actually quite worried on that detail. Especially with the timings in mind here. 30 seconds out and tech up for Lucifron. A real risk that B's going to have to forfeit 2 relics to begin with. He is moving up the archers now, though. I mean, the thing you've got to praise for B is even in these weird positions, what he's really good at is tapping into the idea of an attack opportunity. When most players would be like, that's a little bit too dangerous because, you know, you've got cavalry and I've got archers. He's the type of player that will try to gamble forward. Seems instead, though, he doesn't want to try. Probably feels like it's too late anyway. By the time he'd arrive, there'd be 2 camel lancers out, and what do you do against that? Which is fair. I mean, he knew it was double stables, so the ramp up is going to be faster, and 3rd stable's already coming in. Double fortification 2. Lucifron, not again. No. Lucy. That's going to be -3. Probably 4, actually. Formation Shuffle might save 1. Nope. Okay. B is flexing right now. That was impressive. Another strike in. And finally, Lucifron says enough is enough. He will look to wall this. But the damage is really already done. He's down by 6 workers. He should have 2 relics on the way home. Instead, he doesn't because he was distracted by that. So he's now only pulling relics, which, you know, he's still going to get the 2, but it delays his timing, which impacts the gold loss even more. And Golden Horn Tower, yeah, that's not really securing much. I mean, he gets the berries. If you're playing Macedonians, you're wondering, what should I be doing with the Golden Horn Tower? Look for food. Food makes the world go round. Like, hungry Vikings is a mistake to have in your haul. They'll probably eat you instead. So you need to try and secure something to eat with that tier 3 landmark. And although he has secured something, it's like the worst possible thing for Macedonians. They don't get buffs around berries. It turns out Vikings like to eat meat more than vegetation. Go on the outpost here. That could be -3 quite easily, actually. I don't think you get a repairing in time here. So I'm trying for it. So villagers, they get trapped. Club down, melee mode, into ranged. Gets only 2 out of the 3. It shrinks the gap between the 2. And Lucifron has got 2 relics already home. So he's ahead. Then you have to remember he also has the gathering rate down here. And this is the game where, because of the way B was forced to play, it was a slow tech up, and he mostly built archers. So he had no reason to be gathering gold at all. Which means, you know, getting these silver techs is going to be a little bit slower. I'm champion horseman still being nuisance. Ridari champion doing questionable things. I'm not really sure what he was hoping was going to happen there, but reeks of death. Yeah, so he's a non-starter. Didn't want him anyway. I say that as he recues the Ridari champion. That's a little bit rough. He has got his first Ridari in the field, though, so probably a raid opportunity here. I don't think you can really directly fight this many camels. Ridari are kind of crazy. I've been impressed by their ability to battle camels before, but that's in a more even exchange, not when you're this far behind on count. And 2 more relics on the way home. That's 5 relics, guys. Lucifron is making this look pretty chill. I notice people come in occasionally asking how to beat Macedonians. I have your answer right here. Just play camels. Play a lot of them. I really do think Ivids is a pretty reliable counter picking the Macedonians. I mean, I don't know if it's the best counter pick, but if you want the straight and narrow path to follow and you don't mind microing, probably the best for you. Archer's now chasing away. Camel Lance account is escalating though. B, he's not upgrading into spears at all. Does he realize just how many Camel Lances are coming is what I'm wondering. It's kind of damning when you get to this point. When your opponent gets 5 relics like this is the perfect situation for Camel Lance to spam. It's almost 50% gold cost. He's got triple archery now, so he's actually expecting Spearman. The weird part is it's not happening from B. I mean, some people be like, why is Lucifron reacting to a Phantom? It's because if you don't prepare ahead of time, then it can be very dangerous in the fight. Because the Spears plus Ridari comp for Macedonians rocks a bit harder than you expect. Because the Spearman's damage gets buffed so much by all the Ridari. They assist each other, right? It's like, you know, gonna struggle as a carry unit to beat Camel. Great, I've got Spears backing me. And now those Spears, I'm padding the attack speed off because for every Viking near Spearman, it increases their attack speed by 2%. And Archers as Vikings too. So, like, you know, if you have a balled up comp, Spears can rock pretty hard. Other cool thing here is Archer versus Bogmafur. The Archers of the Ibids in this age can get access to the Mamluk's Bravery, which allows them to get buffs when they get kills. So the longer the fight goes on, the more it tends to snowball towards you. And this is going to be even better now. Going for the Manjanique. Manjaniques, which have been nerfed, by the way. Their damage was reduced in fire mode. I think they lost close to 50% of the splash of each of the little pieces, and then partial damage lost too. It was a noteworthy nerf and a necessary one. Manjaniques kind of got out of control. If you manage to scale to like 4 Manjaniques of Ibids, your army feels untouchable. Definitely think comps anyway. I think the desire there is like, you know, with Manjaniques being so strong and we being in a cavalry meta, once again the devs are like, okay, how do we enable infantry to be viable? And making Manjaniques a little bit weaker does help that. Again. This keeps happening so casually. That's the 3rd time B has done this now. All of his eco lead has come from hitting the same spot again and again and again. Definition of insanity. Lucifron needs a pin. Because if he doesn't shrink this problem now, B, maybe I'd actually just raw outscale him. Villagers moving to the front line. Ridari may go hunting again, but luckily the reinforcements are coming, so we'll scare him off. B's doing a phenomenal job of buying time, guys. This game looked pretty cut and dry, but like now I'm wondering if Lucifron made a mistake going into Manjaniques here, or what if he feels it after the fact, because now you anchor yourself. Your opponent is just playing raw cavalry, really. He hasn't added 1 extra archer since upgrading them. He stopped at 16. So he's just looking to raw cav you to death. And that's where Manjaniques are kind of redundant. Like we said, if your opponent goes infantry, great. If your opponent goes cavalry, tragic. Dari are rallying back towards the main fight. A little bit of poke coming in from the camels. Backstab again. This time, at least, there's a Camel waiting for them. And now the movement forward. Manjanique stays in a rock mode, and the backstab comes through. He's pinned. The Ridari cannot pull away. Luciferon, he got the fight he wanted. And he is breaking through here. Ridari do backstab. They managed to get rid of the Mangonel. I say he's breaking through, but at what cost? It's really only archers left. B has butchered him. This is what I mean. Camels get crapped on by Vikings every time. Look at the health bars. I can't with this unit, man. It's just so comical. Just label that one. It makes no sense. Camels lose. This is what I mean. Every time I was like, but they've been nerfed, so maybe now. No, still. They freaking win that. Absolutely absurd. All right, 1 second. Let's load up the next game. So get game 4 ready to go. Yeah, I think in hindsight for Luciferon, the problem is like the archers felt a little bit redundant, didn't they? He did build a lot of them too. I think where it really got questionable was like archers plus Manjaniques. He 100% was expecting an infantry switch. It's the only reason you can make sense of that. But it's like you need to build something else. You don't just want to building camel lancers. It's not like when you play Ridari only, right? Camel lancer only feels a bit more easily countered. All right, but next up, let's get ready for game number 4. It's Golden Horde time. What a treat. B now up 2-1 in the grand finals, looking at his best performance ever in a tournament, and he picks Delhi into the question mark boogeyman. Golden Horde is haunting everyone right now. Your pub games, everyone's pub games, even the pro games. This Civ seems to dominate whenever it appears in top 8 hands. And Luciferon definitely labels there. So the question mark now, on a map like Front Range, with limited safety and a requirement to come out, has B found the solution in a Delhi pick? Let's find out as we hop into game number 4. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is going to be interesting because one of the big problems that Civs have ran into when they face off against Golden Horde is fast tech plays don't work. Japan, for example, can't play this matchup. They can't play long feudal, they can't play fast castle. It feels like damned either way. Why? Because Golden Horde have these epic tanks. They have got those incredible Torgud to frontline, and an archer follow-up is a simple one too. But I query you this. What happens when Torgud meets infinite health light cav with bonus against heavy? The DPS exchange between Ghazi and Torgud should be relatively similar. It's just the health advantage then. But health advantages don't matter much if your opponent has a capacity to heal. And I think that's why B done this. I think he was expecting the Golden Horde to be up against Delhi. It's a crafty maneuver. So a reminder, when I said this map doesn't have much safe food, I really meant it. You can see the sheep amount there, 9 to 8. There is not many sheep on this map for you to get, right? Which means you gather your sheep straight away, and then you just go off scouting, because there's nothing in the mid-map sheep-wise to get. There's loads of food pockets out to the south and the center, but that requires you to come out of your base, which is why this map has been dominated by aggressive civilizations. And I think that's why Golden Horde is naturally fit in here, is because this is a civ that doesn't really greed. It punishes greed every time. And Khan and Torgud now on the way. Dome of Faith about to complete. Tower of Victory did receive a buff, by the way, but 2 reasons here. We mentioned the fact that you want to have infinite health against the tanky Torgud. The other reason that you wouldn't see Tower of Victory here is in conjunction with that need for like healing, which requires you to build scholars, you then realize, okay, not only do I need healing, but also because I have so little safe food, I want to make sure my units are living not just to beat the Tortugud in fights, but because getting extra units to replace losses very difficult in this type of map. Like, when I say this map gets quite snowbally, I'm not kidding. The person who attacks and usually wins around the board, for example, tends to win. Funny thing about that, and that's why it's a little bit surprising in some ways that B picked Delhi here, the boar has been a staple of success on this map, and Delhi can't eat pig. Golden Horde can, though. Double Uva already being set up, so we are going to be starting to see the cavalry spanned out. Khan arrives already. Tortugud about to be queued behind him. I wonder if Last B's thought process is pro scouts on delay, because you do get it for free with this Civ. What's interesting about the build, though, is normally when we see people angling towards pro scouts faster, they add in a second mill, because it also saves drop-off distance here, but he didn't do that. No, he secured the wheelbarrow and then queued up pro scouts straight away, ignoring horticulture entirely. Yeah, so he's prioritizing differently. It's going to be blacksmiths coming out sooner. Makes sense. You're probably expecting Golden Horde 9 times out of 10 here to go Archer plus Tortugud. So he just wants that protection of Undermesh. Could also be nice just for the Bloomery. And here's what I meant about the stats of it. So this is the Batu Khan, but the Tortugud are similar on stats. We'll look at them in a second. But they have a lot more health, right? It's 220 compared to, I think, 250 on the Tortugud. But the damage. So you get 10 damage here. You get free armor. But your opponent on the other side does 12 damage. Has just over half HP. But also has an extra +2 damage against heavy. These trade reasonably well into Tortugud. And there you go. Just kites him. Knocks him down. Pulls away. And it has forced Lucifron to go into spears. So what does this mean for Lucifron? This means there's a lot more focus on him bursting food banks sooner rather than later. The cool thing, at least, with this Civ is you can build into stockyards, your farms, and condense them. But you don't want to be doing that early against Delhi. Because if you do that, they're going to blow and dive. Because remember, at this point, until the spears start to get fat in numbers, all B really needs to do and wants to do is build more of these horseback units. I imagine archery, yeah, it's coming in. He has got Undermesh still queued though, right? He didn't pivot Steeled Arrow. I think that's fine because the idea here is if your opponent isn't guarding correctly, you just dive. And with Undermesh, you don't really lose any Ghazi. And you have to be expecting outposts, right? Like, if your opponent is going to be forced out into deer or into boar, there's a high probability he's going to drop those expensive outposts to protect so he can go and attack. Because if he doesn't start guarding these areas, basically his army has to camp his economy. Pro Scouts almost there, by the way. Just a minute and 20 well. And Sanctity is available to him now, right? So he can play for Sacred Site. Notice that he's biding his time here. He's just not rushing it. Ghazi are creeping forward, though. Yeah, I think he's looking for that food. 1-1-1 build to come. Makes a lot of sense for Lucifron. Probably see him adding in a Karash towards like 10 spearmen. Oh, that's cool. B, he lames the boar. So he pulls it to the tree line to hide it. That's really smart. Remember what we said, boar defines this map more than anything else. So denial of the resource. They did change this now. Muslim civs do not make the boar disappear. But he found a way past that. Technically, right, this is the thing. It used to work that when you kill the boar with like Malians and Delhi and all these type of civs, the boar just disappeared. Now you have to get creative to achieve that. Technically, the boar has disappeared. And it doesn't have an icon on the map. So Lucifron, when he comes forward looking for that food, he's been like, what the hell? Where is it? Oh. So now he just waits to receive. And Pro Scout's now complete. It's going to be a drag back of food. Will it not decay? No, decaying is an Age of Empires 2 thing that doesn't happen in Age of Empires 4. So you can see the numbers not going down. What used to happen, as I said, is the Muslim civs in the game, because they can't eat the boar. If they killed the boar, it would just evaporate, it would just disappear. But that's been changed now. Because it was stupid. It never really made sense. It was giga busted in my eyes. Because like some people's argument against it is like, well, if they can't get the boar, it's unfair. It's like, no, not really, because a lot of the civs that could deny boar were able to get extra food on their berries and gather them faster. So it kind of balanced out when you've done the maths of like the average berry count on maps. The only exception to that rule that would have rights to complain were Malians and Ottomans. And Malians get cow, so shut up. You can't complain about anything. So that left basically just Ottomans. And because Ottomans are considered to be like a top 2, top 3 civ of the game right now, easily, I don't mind something that nerfs them. Like, at that point, like, they don't have a leg to stand on. Totally good. Just trying to be a nuisance. Need to be careful. The Ghazi are quicker here. He can pinch. Yep. Snatches one. Forces a recommit. He's like, lay him out. Lay him out. No. No, 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 no. He's ours. You see what I mean? Ghazi are a really smart counter to this. I remember a long time ago, like, discussed this with Recon, where he was like, I thought Ghazi could, like, just counter Keshiks. It's like, not really. It's not that reliable. But Tortugud is different because it's just a tanky Keshik without the damage and without the healing. Needs to be careful not to over aggro. Military numbers look good for B until you remember that, like, 11 of that is scholars. So you've got to be mindful of that detail. Still, creates the space, gets the deer home. Only Archer spam plus Ghazi, so no spin. B's not going for a 1-1-1 build here. Oh, wait, no, I spoke too soon. He's just dropped the racks. Scholars are getting it pulled. Now, remember, the Scholar strat is nerfed. It's still decent, but it used to be that what would happen in a fight is you would pull back slightly and these guys would front line, and they get full healing. Now they don't. Although they're not attacking, being attacked is tagged as in combat, which means they receive only half healing. Ghazi can count Keshik first launch. Yeah, I don't think it's that way now, though, right? I remember watching a game between Beastie and Recon where, like, Keshiks didn't care about Ghazi. But Tortugud most definitely do. Now the Archer stuff to pull back. Are a little bit exposed here, but he's just trying to get rid of that raw spear count. Worth it to sack his Archers a little bit for it, but the damage buff has now initiated. Spears have to pull back. Ghazi get the re-engage. Luciferon kind of locked in. And reminder, folks, this is a 0 Sacred Site game for B. And yeah, it still looks pretty damn reliable. Ghazi are getting a little bit low on health. Needs kind of a break in the fight, I feel like, just to heal. Might get it in a second. I don't know. Does Luciferon want to continue to commit? I mean, what's the alternative? Lose slowly? He's got no spears. That's the worry here. Ghazi are going to charge forward again. Yep, exposed to the Archers. Luciferon gets the recharge, but outnumbered. Ghazi's starting to ripple into the Archer force. Pushback does continue. Body blocks are good. The Tortugud just too slow on the retreat. And that looks like the definitive moment in the game. B, on point, just dragging the fight back and forth. A recommitment now from Luciferon's forces as a few more spinners start to arrive. But the Ghazi can now just get chain healed. This is a standstill fight. Kadash has been removed. No extra armor there. The body blocks are coming from Archers as well. Absolute disaster. And Golden Horde may be strong in the right matchup, but they are by no means a default win. And ironically, Khan going down does feel like a real GG in this one. I think that was a control group difference, by the way, because the Khan was much later to pull away. 0-6 site is crazy, right? And that's the other crazy thing here, is before you're like, oh man, this strat's busted and whatever, so many scholars, but he paid for all of them. He didn't get any trickle of gold like you normally see out of Delhi. He understood the value of the scholars in this matchup and forced himself to commit to the gold the entire time. And now the burn comes through. Scholars means he doesn't need to leave, he can just chain heal. Archer and Archer are fair. A few Ghazi are going to pull there. Leaves a few behind just to idle the economy because the scholars are going to make sure that the boo-boos get kissed better. And now with the space created, he can pull back and look for the 5 kills. Which should force a full commitment. Spears charging in. There's just no force left here, really. Luciferon is in just like a slow death swirl and all the body blocks. The Ghazi have him surrounded, actually, but he just doesn't care. He wants the Archer kills. Gets the pin now. Scholar play reminds me of the OP Feudal's healing Scholar. Yeah, you mean when they had herbal medicine. But like, this is weak. This is the weird thing. This is a weaker form of this strat. Because what would have happened before they nerfed healing in combat is the Torgud would have been hitting the scholars for no damage. GG gets called though, guys, and Delhi, not your solution to every situation, but a golden horde solution for sure. That's pretty cool. All right, 1 second. Let's get the next game ready. All right, so getting the game spun up in a sec. Has there ever been a better AoE4 event than Homestead? I don't know. It depends what you're looking for in the event, right? It's had some epic games for sure. I don't know. I think I'll always be biased towards Red Bull Wallow. I mean, still stings that I missed out on Albert Hall. I still think in certain ways the Spanish event was better. But obviously it didn't have much AoE4 is the sad part. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird for me because, like, if it had been a Fiddy Fiddy, it's like, wow, that's the best event of any Age of Empires experience, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the only real LAN with some scale, but also it's, like, different vibes, right? I don't know. There's still a giant question mark resolution needed for basically a LAN that is a LAN. As in, like, big crowds, hyping it up, absorbing it, experiencing it. I think that is where Poland next year is going to be interesting. You guys know about the Polish event, right? There's a Polish event coming. So there's a Polish event planned. Fusion Esports, I think they were called. They're making an event in April next year. And that one has the potential to be the best AoE for LAN, I think. Depends on the capacity. I haven't seen how many people they can hold in the castle. All right. You guys ready for this? He's down, but he ain't dead. Folks, it's grand finals time. We are here in game number 5. B wins this. He's up on match point, 1 away from securing his first ever LAN victory on his first ever international LAN in Age of Empires 4. And he looks to do so with the Byzantines. That's right. In the green, B is on the Greeks. Lucifron on the other side, though, has got the Sengoku Daimyo. A sure sign that he ain't giving up so easily. We head into Boardland. A great map for Sengoku, actually. Courtesy of all the clustered foods that they can take advantage of with their sweet hot dog stands. And it looks like he's planning to do exactly that. Love this placement. Gets it on the gold so he doesn't have to drop a forge, but also gets it next to straggler trees, which are literally right on top of the thing, so he minimizes walk distance to get those first Yatais out easily. Really cool, actually. And you see what I mean. He's going to be moving south side. So a few things to note. Sengoku have been nerfed coming into this tournament. They used to be getting 20 food by default. Now it's only 10, so it's a little bit slower on the start. But the cool thing about this type of spawn, a board's going to give you 40. Then you have an extra wiggle room for 10. You can get 60 cap on each of these. He's going to achieve that just by placing here. He'll be able to achieve it again just by placing here. And then it gets a little bit sucky because you've only got like deer or berries on their own. But for free Yatai strats, it's really nice because he can place the third Yatai here with his berries and all the sheep. No one played the new Civ in this tournament? They did. Anatan played it and lost. It was a good cover reason for losing. And this is interesting, by the way. We never see this out of Byzantines. They are like one of the worst civs for Dark Age aggro because it's so expensive and because they sacrifice economy. But B's actually doing it. Yeah. He's spamming out spears, actually. Third one now on the way. Maybe a fourth because he's still got someone on wood here? No. I think he probably stops at the fourth, right? It'd be kind of crazy to go beyond 4. Okay, no. It's either that, either he's building more, or he's going for an outpost rush, because he's got 4 on wood now. I was wondering if he was going to try this, because this spawn spot is a 4 gold. If you block that, Lucifron's in trouble. Because although he can trade his way up to H2, that's bloody expensive. I feel like Biz Spears is actually a decent spear rush. The one system gives a lot of value. Yeah, but the trade-off is like you could try and aggro your opponent and get across the field, spending more to produce spearmen, or you could just buff your economy up and keep spamming systems. Most players lean to the second. It's like we see this in all kinds of matchups because, like, to this logic, you know, if this was so good, why wouldn't you do it against Malians? Yes, Malians, they get the spear range attack, but you have extra health anyway. You can mitigate a lot of the range damage by shield walling. So you just, like, toggle and then toggle off. But they never do it. They both just accept their greed. The difference here, though, is, like, after he potentially denies gold, he can walk over and deny your ties because he knows where they're likely going. Check this. Luciferon creeps the back gold with the forge drop. We'll repair the Matsuri. You don't want that going down. Especially when you're already generating your way towards the caravans. Still, this is kind of annoying. You're just burning wood to keep this alive. And also, in the process, this villager, every minute he spends repairing, it's not just costing you wood to repair. He's also, now as a result of that, not gathering to the tune of about 40 resources. Luciferon has been revealed now, but he got the gold. He'll get away. Didn't get Tawara, doesn't need it. Ryokan now on the way. And Limitane, they can burn a forge. Not the best use of their time, but it's not like they've got anything else to do. And B will mirror the tech time, by the way. But you see what I mean? It's like now the trade-off is, oh man, I'm delayed on gathering stone. I think the difference with Sengoku compared to practically any other Civ is the value proposition. Like I mentioned, you can find these Yatais and snipe them. That's a big deal. It's 125 wood down the drain. But it's also, if you don't do something about the Yatais, you're giving your opponent a huge food advantage. Like I said, this is 60 food. This will be 60 food. And then the third Yatai is still 50. So that's 170 food passively per minute if you don't do something about it. Isn't it 50 now? No, it's still 60. It's just the base is now 10. So it's harder to achieve the full 60 than it was before. Because what you used to do is very brain dead, is that, like, on a Dry Arabia, you could have the boar on their own, but you'd send a Yatai over there, and with base 20 plus 40, you hit the cap. Now, if the boar's on its own, you're not going to hit the cap. And that's cheeky. Luciferon hides in the corner. B's like, wait, what? There's no way he didn't build a Yatai and send it up here, right? Got him! Over here! Quick! He's selling hot dogs at premium pricing! Get rid of him! Did he not know? We're in an economical crisis! Pig and bun shouldn't cost this much. Luciferon tries to get cheeky with the ball pull. Not going to work. And with 5 spears, you can pin. There's no getting away. Hell. I was going to do a 2-for-1 special on Fridays. No, you won't. All right, 1 down. Other one has at least curried the Yatai food trader, so that's going to be extra food going back. And it's just going to hang around. An archery beginning, so Yumi to come. B, of course, can go javelins to counterplay this. Some people have been opted to go longbows instead. I have a feeling we're probably looking at a jav strat here. But it'll be refreshing to see the longbows into Sengoku. Also important to keep in mind, Sengoku aren't as beastly as they were previously. They have been nerfed. Yeah, and I think it's still like a fair tune. I don't think it's cut and dry in the mid-game like it used to be. Because he's probably thinking, what, Yumi plus the Cav? Yeah, Yari Cav to come. And he has gone Takeda, which is pretty standard. But for B, I'm just looking at the spawn right now. Northside leaning berries. The cool thing about this is him going spear plus javelin makes him immobile, but if all your berries are on the same side, not bad situation to be in, right? Like, the south side of his spawn doesn't really have much. Like, even the gold, he has a backup option in the corner. A nice maneuver there. The scout came too late. Like, wait a second. Now there's the Yumi. You don't really want to step up and try to contest. But, like, the reason why I'm expecting B to play defensive here is because of that Ryokan. You don't want to get trading in the mid-map just for your opponent to pull back and get healing from this landmark. Because remember, the way it works is any unit that runs in range of it then gets the tag of Ryokan, which gives them healing outside of combat. B, a lot of food being gathered, not many on gold's a bit weird. He's going horseman. Okay, in fairness, I kind of given up expectation of him doing this because I feel like this series so far he hasn't leaned on it. B is a nasty fella for mass spear horseman guys. In fact, he probably believes in mass spear more than most pros do. And a lot have come around to it. But he's going mass melee block against this. That's interesting considering Lucifron's army is very quick. Getting harassed off the berries. Blacksmith does get dropped. Undermesh queued as a priority here. Okay, so good counter pressure. Lucifron anchors himself towards the stone. Will be able to just deny him with Cistern. Pretty annoying for B because he was just about ready to get the level 5 Cistern online. And it will shift him out of his base to the backside. Yeah, B just kind of getting punished a bit on the timings around like the javelins. Then again, he could have queued them up sooner, or... No, I think he queued them up on time. We have got the speedy boys coming. So horse training. This got nerfed, by the way. It used to be 10%, which, in my opinion, was just insane for a tier 1 tech. I think it was way too good. It's been reduced to 5%. Sounds pretty bad. 5% is pretty damn nice for Yadi at their speed. Even for the knights, it makes them like a mini horseman type effect. And because of the percentile scaling in conjunction with things like charge, you get a noteworthy boost in chase. Other side, this Lucifron is prepping for castle. So I think he's just going to look to level it up pretty fast here. We'll speed up just a bit, because I think for B, a counter attack may be a bit tricky to read right now. It's scary to come out with jabs when you know your opponent has Yadi. Yeah, he's just inch laying for attack. So outpost being dropped in, extra level assistant coming through. Does get scouted by the cavalry. Has a few Limitane here, though. So I think Lucifron's getting what he wants, which is an unharassed tech up. At this point, considering that Lucifron only brought the cavalry forward, B's probably getting suspicious that, hey, this is actually castle play. And you can see him switching on to gold now. And there you go. Using the corner spawns we expected. It's just a nice layout for, like, mid-timings. Question now is who's favored in the castle? Because the problem is you've got these javelin that tend to lose a bit of their value in the castle. They're not bad at attacking heavy cav, but, you know, in terms of cow play units against Yuumi, they were already overkilling Yuumi. They're definitely going to overkill them now. But hello, what a raid. Horsemen move in. They find a worker and the Yuumi unguarded. Forces the idol in the Sake Brewery. Switches over the tree line now. Pokes for a second. Lucifron not reacting. Lucy, he pulls back the Atai, but forgets to pull back the workers. That could be -2. Does pull away before getting the extra. Because he finds the parry. What? How did he get that much value out of just a handful of horsemen? That's crazy. The ripple effect. Honestly, it's like watching one of those Ultra God flex maneuvers where you're like, you couldn't hit that to save your life. And they shoot the ricochet shot that bounces off of 4 different locations and hits. That's pretty much what we just saw there. Even denies the food trader on the way out. Damn. And what else was cool about that is he retracted the raid. Lucifron brought all of his cavalry home, now meaning B gets an unharassed tech up, while now being economically ahead. Pretty sick. And you see the efficiency time as well, like the pain of it. Also, the denial on the hot dog stands does kind of worry me. You know, we're talking about only a tier 2 Matsuri, so only a 10% buffer. And remember, Sake Brewery is still strong, but it did get nerfed. Not as good as it once was. Yeah, it went from 1.45 default gathering per second for villagers to 1.35 on the mats. Nice argument we can dive in. B, a little bit frugal as Limitane, actually, which surprises me. Looking to fix that now. Needs the goal to get veterancy. That should be his #1 priority here. More so than the veterancy for Japanese. And he agrees. Isn't he? Interesting. Lucifron didn't want to commit that. Yeah, he might have thought that veterancy was queued sooner and there was more spearmen coming. Because 5 spears there shouldn't really be that threatening against that many tanks. Shows respect. Might come to bite him in the arse a little. Yeah, you can't sneak in here unnoticed. Like, going past the wall every time is a dead obvious ringer. Let's look for the charge. Spreads the connection, gets himself a kill. Shivs come out, though. The Akratoy to save him against the second strike. Nicely done there. Yeah, that was 2 workers that should have died there. The Akratoy defense gives the extra armor, so offset the kill point. Hence why Luciferon just scarpered out. Now the quick wall. The quick wall! Oh, he pins him in! And now the Limitane, they're moving into the way. Cataphract's also arriving too. Line formation spread. Luciferon, it's an ugly exit. Decent damage done. Sick play by B. However, guys, we forgot about the thing we were defending. Oh no, the pathing! Luciferon, what was that? I can't believe that. The panic split on the mining camp. -2 there, nothing gained, and a wall up now that B realistically needed anyway. He is in flow state. And now Jav's just able to trade out over here. Yuumi aren't going to be able to contest that. Luciferon's economy is unharassed, but the problem here is the damage done to these is permanent. He's got Icky Monks, but they only provide healing when you're fighting. Actually, no, that's not true. He's got Ryokan, right? Yeah, my brain. I need to remember this now. Because we're seeing more Ryokan. So the way this works is it's 4 health every 6 seconds out of combat. It's not fast. And it's every 6 seconds it will trigger. So like, if you get hit in the 5th second, you're not going to get healed at all. So it's a worse form of chivalry, but it is at least a chivalry. Jav count at 20 is nuts, by the way. But it's just because he hasn't been forced to trade them out at all. Really, the only weakness I'm seeing for B right now is spear count is a bit worrisome. Like, it's not that high. But you see the jab damage here. It's almost half HP off of 1 throw. So this is what I meant about the base damage is pretty damn handy. They hit for 12 now. And also, the more concerning thing is Luciferon, we're 15 minutes in, and he's now only getting undermesh, which is wild. Yeah, considering you wanted to dive the base, your opponent went jabs, I would have expected it maybe a little bit quicker. I mean, what was his priority instead? He did get melee tech 1. Skilled arrow 1 makes a lot of sense for Yuumi. Camel, whoops. I think he was attacking us. No, that was a villager. Just a very tanky villager, because B did go tech stuff. Really smart play there, actually. I feel like a lot of people would have been greedy about it here as Byzantines, but definitely paid off. I think it was there the last time that dive came in, hence why he didn't get the kill point. Yeah, the way I described that hit on the back for Luciferon, I think that probably struck him the same way that charging into French Knights that just got Royal Bloodlines does. Where you don't realize that you get in the fight and you go, oh yeah, he definitely has that, and this was a mistake. It's weird to describe them the same way because the health difference is miles apart, but it was the difference maker that stopped B losing, +3 workers there and Luciferon getting value out of the raid. Now, Luciferon is getting value elsewhere. He's looking to play for relics, but B did mirror the play quite well, actually. He's going to win the relic game by the looks of it. Playing for the 3rd one now. Camels is a bit of a concern for Luciferon. A debuff goes pretty hard here. And his archers, Yuumi, they're kind of light on damage. They're not the quickest bursters. However, fights like this do make it quite easy. Oops. That's going to be -1 cam. Annoying to retreat from this as well, considering this cavalry is faster. But the rest of the army's now arrived. Luciferon, hold up! Let's not get too close, son. -2. And now the trample. Charges forward. Has got the shield wall up. Pulls the camels back. Nicely played. Don't want to sack them. Want to keep that aura alive, just in case your opponent re-engages. Army size neck and neck. Quality difference matters a lot, though. I think not going spears is a mistake for Lucy. That's true. Spearmen, I think Sengoku sleep on spears even more than Japan does. And it's kind of crazy because you do have some unique techs in there. Like there's one that gives your spearmen more movement speed, which I think is so underrated. But like against this comp, you're not wrong to say this. Like spears destroys this. Javelins hate mass spears. I think the thing that worries Luciferon is getting mass food set up for Sengoku is a bit tricky. And I feel like good spear strats rely on a lot of food income. And although you have got reliable food income for a long time with the Yatais, they start to die off as the resources start to disappear, or it just becomes harder to maintain like this. And this isn't a Civ but like its cousin, Sea of Japan, just gets all these farms by default. So the farm transition's quite tricky. And I think that's where it gets a bit weird for them, the idea of going mass speeds. Like, you're not wrong. Like, in this type of game, I see javelins, I see cavalry, I see limitane. Spears would be perfect. It's also, whenever you can, it's better to utilize melee units for attack speed than range units. Because range units are less impacted by attack speed differentials than melee units. Not having a wall feels bad. I think his spawn is kind of bad for walling, though. Maybe down here for a little mini wall, but like up here is pretty rough, pretty wide. And the front side is like weirdly formatted, right? It's not the easiest to wall up. Cataphract dive. Oh my. He got caught. Trample's still on cooldown, 15 seconds out. Trying to snipe the camels, but damage not really impressing me right now. Yuumi count get a little bit low. Goes to the snipe on the final camel, gets the commit. And Cataphracts do stand their ground. They are outnumbered. The concave comes in. Lucifer with the surround here. The Javelin's just getting rid of that back line to keep the Limitane in longer. And new camels come in at just the right moment. But is it going to be too late? Javs start to move away. They're essentially frontlining now. Cataphracts are dead. It's 15 samurai still. Luciferon needs a quick push forward for a counter assault. Double camel are getting low. They're going to pull back. The Cataphracts just sniping down the injured here. Line formation definitely going to be the right call. Full HP Cataphracts are baiting and wasting a lot of Luciferon's time. He needs that finishing touch on that back line. He's struggling to get it, though. And the camo pump is real. Another group arriving as soon as he gets rid of the last. Luciferon just needs to get out. Remember, these guys will heal, but they need to get out to do so. And with the losses of Spearman here, B, you know, what's happening? We haven't got any food gatherers right now. A grand migration onto gold. He's not going to be adding in with spears. It's more Caddis. Now the chase is real. Forces him to stand ground. He does outnumber these Cataphracts, but not for long. Not with those health bars. Snipes coming in. Few camels still in there, though. Does make it a bit of a nuisance. And these samurai... What just happened? What a call out of B. If he goes Spearman, he'll never catch them. And it'll just be a full health bar in the next fight. Instead, the choice to hone in on cavalry throughout it all was the correct call from B. A sick call as well. Especially when he had food transitions, making it a bit awkward. Like this leverage onto gold, very smart. Because remember, Cataphracts are almost bulk gold. They're 150 compared to 180 food. Mount Samurai definitely being a little bit annoying on the back, so finds a little bit of raids there. But B is finding more. Look at these workers. Uh-oh. Cataphracts ain't gonna die easily here. Fortifications trying to come through. Javelins are exposed, but camels again to the rescue. Does buy time for fortifications, but no doubt about it, this is going down. Spirit placement is coming on the second. That should be enough to maybe scare B back. He's just sacking his jabs, which is smart, guys. Like, his javelins are kind of irrelevant now. They're nice for that final touch, but because you're not building spears, you don't care about the Yuumi. If you're only going to be building cavalry, the Yuumi are irrelevant. Denial more workers, denial more resources. South side, looks like he has found the breed of B down here. The Utai was in the area too, but he has got fortifications coming through. Did cost him 1 or 2 workers. Burn now. Just a few javelins left over. He's trying to snipe the aura again. Exhausting and fair on both sides. And he's actually gathering gold right here. That's crazy. System coming up. He needs to deal with the Springald though, because like if Luciferon wants, he can start sniping workers here. And the Knights bypass. B, I think we got a little bit greedy here. A little bit ahead of ourselves. It's going to be Shivs out against Knights. Successfully scares him away, but health bar's not looking pretty. Akratoid defense. He goes for the tower. Wait, for the Yuumi? No. Wait, what? Only in a B game would you see this right now. He's trying to take down the tower. What the hell has happened? Now the Knights charge in. It forces the full commitment. The Cataphracts turn on them though. Villager losses are going to be big, but it pins Lucifer onto a fight that he may not have wanted. The burn is going to be there on the tower. It's almost been brought down. The Akratoid offense here to try and get rid of this critical objective has caused B to fall behind. I cannot believe what I just saw. Look at the eco. 44 to 58. B needs a counteroffensive now. -5 is going to reset it a bit. Do buildings even have melee armor? They do not. So I think mathematically, if I'm not mistaken, he was doing more damage via Akratoy defense than he would via burn. Because your burn is 10 damage. And Akratoy defense puts you up at, is it 8 damage at this stage? 9. It's 9 damage. And fortification gives you 5 fire armor. So legitimately, it kills the building quicker by doing Akratoy defense. That's nuts. I'm not sure if it cost him the game or won him the game. No, just thinking about the situation. I mean, Lucifron, if things calm down, he's just ahead, right? If they calm down. I think what B's trying to do right now is just scurry around and eliminate the trickle of Mount Samurai before committing to a big fight. That is freaking crazy. I cannot believe this. The villagers? What's going on over here, guys? Outpost from Lucifer. He's like, hey, I almost won the game because of an outpost. Let me just build another one. Villagers will get it up. The Mad Samurai from behind. He did get tier 3, by the way, so these guys are bulky now. And he also gets the deflective armor now. Villagers. Okay, there was not enough room in this inn. Oh, no. B is running out of time. A counter assault is most definitely needed. Gun's gonna come through. No sprinkled placement this time. No, 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 no. Happens once, okay? Dear boar still belong to him. He needs a fight soon, though. You can just feel it slipping away from him the longer the wait happens. He is, however, doing something quite crafty. He's switching back into spears, which, considering how long he's just been pumping cavalry, Lucifron may not expect at all. It's dangerous, because if your opponent gets a whiff of it, Yumi spam is pretty easy to do again at this point, right? Like, you still have all these tree lines. And this is like where Lucifron is weakest. He's setting up the farms. Farms that do not exist for B. No, he's pretty much keeping his economy alive with gold, really, when you think about it. Manganone placement's coming in, by the way. Does scare Lucifron back. Cataphracts are creeping in here, but Mount Samurai will be able to mirror him. And with the outpost as well, that spearman should also get flopped. He'll take a Mount Samurai with him. Meanwhile, the big fight... Wait, he committed? He actually... Lucifron, what? Oh my god, no, not again. Not enough Akratoy offense. We don't need... How did he force that fight? I'm trying to make sense of it. It's Mount Samurai Yumi. Like, you just run away, right? But Lucifron, the dog with a bone, just wouldn't let it go. I cannot, like, I wouldn't look here because you wouldn't expect this fight. Lucifron, over eager, may have just cost himself the game. Because guys, like think about the movement speed. It's 1.62 on the Cataphracts. You had what, 6 or 8 Yumi? Who cares about 6 or 8 Yumi when you've got 20 Mounted Samurai at risk that move quicker than anything that B has? The only thing I can think is he looked away for a second and then B trampled past him and body blocked him. And then he thought, oh, I'm kind of forced to fight. Now, this is big. He has got the Odachi coming in. This is going to allow him to clear this Limitane better with Mounted Samurai only. I would feel a lot more confident if we were seeing Yumi as well. But Lucifron has been watching way too many late night episodes of My Little Pony. What is that? He just got scouted out here, didn't he? Ambitious fight for one Mounted Samurai. Pumbaa now in the menu for B. Oh, berries. He does catch out the Yatai. Nicely done there, just denying a bit more food. But we should have Yatai traders coming through soon, no? Yatai farm gatherer, rather. Not yet. Mount Samurai go for it again. Army is far north. Don't worry, guys. We got Akratoy defense in 24 seconds. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Dive in, though. The spears actually go hunting on their own. The cavalry and the javelins coming back here. Hold on a second. The villagers get back to work. The cataphracts hold the choke point. Not a bad idea with the mangonel emplacement. He's carrying himself through to the other side, though. And now the second wave arrives. He's pinned. Tries to move past it. Gets out just in time. Remember, he's got the Ryokan healing. Problem is, the harassment continues. He keeps on chasing. New wave now coming in of Mount Samurai. Spears on the north side still forcing idle time, though, for Lucifron. And now, over here on the gold again, Mount Samurai. But this many javelins can take a few with them. Snipes him out for the dive. This is such a chaotic game. Everything for this outpost and gold on this screen. The spears have been mopped up. They spent that whole time trying to burn a bloody farmhouse of all things. Still did force them out of time. I'm not really sure if it was really worth it for B. Mad Samurai wave coming in again. Dodges the mangonel placement perfectly. Gets the charge through towards the javelins, the villagers. He Akratoys them again! What is this game? They're not that tanky, surely! He tramples past. He uses his villagers to hammer an anvil. Now the chase through with the camels afterwards. Another hit to the economy. Another 5 worker kills for Lucifron. Please tell me B is leaving a Monk here because he needs it. Because this is getting Monk at S. It's a chase north. He's bringing everything up here because so far, keeping the villagers in the center has been a negative. Because he has to defend them. But he wants more food anyway, so why don't we just go north? Textiles remains best military upgrade. Spoken like a Don Artie fan. Textiles plus Akratoy, the best defensive strat a man can muster. And now the push is on. Backstab. Just a few samurai. That'll get cleared up, though. Main army is still getting chased. The camels, it's difficult to answer. Still, forces idle here. Has to run past it afterwards. This time it's an 8k gold. Maybe worth another outpost, maybe? Oh, God. He's coming around again. Okay, he actually decides against it. Well, for him, he doesn't know how many spears are waiting, right? If it's like 10 spears here, he gets charged into, he's dead. So makes the right call. Chases the back, defends himself. But now the burn's coming in. This is big. He needs those 10 worker kills, though. His economy difference is getting kind of crazy, but the Spooner placements make this expensive. More samurai arriving. Let's scare him off for now, but... Wait, B? B? No! He doesn't realize! Critical losses there. Cataphracts, camels going down. Lucifron's army is split right now, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And a rally towards the gold now. I mean, he doesn't have any outposts here, guys. He doesn't have... Wait! He's missing his Akratoy defense. He hasn't got assistant. Of course, KP. You're right. Let me just get my spears. One more time, surely. He's got it coming off cooldown in 5 seconds. At this point, just committing the gold gathering. Body blocks with his cavalry as best he can. But that is going to be it. The Akratoy offense has failed him. But I am baffled that it even worked for as long as it did. The best peasant army a man can buy. Hello, Frey. Oh my god. What a game. What a game. Oh wait, that wasn't the one. Oops. Yes, darling.
Why did Daniel say that? Why?
1 second. Let me see if I've named the right one. He's down. Yes, I have. All right. Which means we now get more of a series, baby. Whoop, whoop. Oh, my God. Let's just get the game restarted so we can lock in. Pray, did you not eat any of your food at school? No. Just got a giant box of food. Too busy playing. You're just watching the person, are you? Okay. It's alright, I'm not judging you.
Mommy said I have to go to you with my food.
Mommy said you had to come to me with your food. I doubt that. Because you're not meant to be eating here, because you're a dirty mother grubber. Alright.
What?
Let's see. What we got? We've got a bastards coming out willingly. What? Alright, so the score's now 2-3, right? I don't know, man. I think Lucy might be in a bit of a pickle here. French OP, right? Oh my god. What a series, though. Army of Peasants eventually ran out of bodies. All right, we just had the Army of Peasants rebel in game number 5. We head into game number 6. Lucifron must be feeling inspired what B just tried, because he's picked the perfect Peasant Rebellion Civ. The Abbasid Dynasty is coming out in an S-tier LAN Grand Finals. But guys, this is going to be the hardest test for them. On the other side, B chasing that first S-tier LAN win with the French in the green on a map like Dry Arabian, a matchup against Abbasids. You got to be feeling pretty bloody confident about this one if you're the 3D Clan member. He will head out towards the deer straight away to gather. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This has been a pretty awesome grand final so far. An epic journey. Remember, B got here by winning in the end 4-3 versus Marine Lord. Lucifron a bit more cozy. I believe it was 4-2. But not looking comfortable at all in this game. Is this third place match? Hell no, is this third? Are you get out of here? This is grand finals. How dare you besmirch the names of B and Lucifron? So I'm wondering, like, what's Lucifron going to do? Is this just your standard attempt of, like, 2TC against French? That sounds a bit dangerous. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to mirror 2TC, but there was a world where French could do that. I doubt we're going to see it this game. We're just going to stick 2x speed anyway for the early game because both of these civs have no interest in Dark Age aggression. When was the last time you saw Abbasids Dark Age aggro? And definitely French don't care for it. But it's going to be military wing. So it looks like Lucifron is respecting the threat. Could technically still snake 2TC. Not unheard of to do so with military wing. But definitely going to be an opening defensively. School of Cavalry on the way with 6 from B. And we'll just 4x this to get to Feudal Age. Not Beastie or Marine Lord? Hell no. They were third, fourth. Hello, Frey. What's up? Where's my purse? My purse is inside. Although men don't call it a purse. It's a wallet. Yeah. So night production begins. Lucifron is going to go for the deer shove, and he is going to TC. Ah, that's cool. He wants the town center of the gap. So he's going to use these to deer shove in. And that gives him a perfect town center on the gold, the wood, and the deer close to his base. Nicely played. Okay, has to go a bit wider then. Well, I think he probably could have shoved it deeper, but it's a little bit risky with the knight now on the way. Speaking of which, knight now arrived. B has got the second one queued up. Freya! Pick up all the food now. And take it inside. You're not eating out here anymore. We talked about this. She dropped food everywhere, chat. Which she does a lot. Spears. Uh-oh. He should be able to get this up. Yeah, it does cost him both spears, but I think you're happy with that. Losing no workers. The town center online. They're probably all dirty as well, Fred. The floor's a bit dusty, darling. Take him to mummy and tell him what you've done. And she missed an extra. Time for ants, dude. The child and drop of food. Yeah, but like, I mean, I don't know why I let her sit there with food for a second. I've told her before she's not allowed in here with food for that reason, because she does drop it all the bloody time. Oh dear. So horseman coming from Lucifron's kind of interesting here, as opposed to spear archer defense. I wonder what the thought process is. Probably he wants to raid his opponent on flanks, and also, yeah, why is the game frozen? What? That's weird. 1 second. Because the game is still running. What just happened? Freya drops her food and it pauses the game. There you go. Sorry about it. I don't know what that was. That was very weird. Huh. Dropped food in the game, apparently. Dude, the observer stopped actually observing. He's like, ooh, food. I'm hungry. So I'm not really seeing the full strat for Luciferon right now. Is it like distract and then tag? I can't imagine so. You also don't scale ahead on economy that fast on 2TC versus French because their TC produces quicker, right? Still, like the idea of shutting him off of flank resources can make sense of it. It's just a little bit unusual that he'd done this before securing more spears against knights. Luckily for him, I think the reason Luciferon done it is because B lost the scout. So he didn't play with confidence like you normally would in this position as French because he didn't know. Now the villagers. Uh-oh, that's going to be -1. Nicely played by Lucy. Well, no, I get the idea of sending the horseman to raid because we already talked about that. But like, the problem with the order of things, I think the reason he gets away with that is legit the scout. Like, instead of like focusing on the obvious, which is build a horseman, raid, spam, and defend, the reason he does it in this order is because of that scout loss, right? Because if the scout for B is still here and he sees that you open horseman, he's going to dive you a lot more because you can't do anything about it, really. You just get idled up. But when you lose the scout, look at the vision. Would you try and dive Abbasids with that? I wouldn't. I'd be full paranoia mode, right? I'd have tinfoil hat on and everything. So really cool idea there from Luciferon. B now prepping the undermesh, so he will eventually dive anyway. Do still have to be a bit careful of the fact that if the knights outnumber the spears, it's not going to be a pretty fight. He actually got the charge off, no damage done. Do we have boot camp being rushed? We do not. Boot camp can be pretty nice because I think it lets you take an extra hit from a knight. Get +1 armor before diving. It's not about diving directly to TC though. It's about diving in between the areas, right? And forcing reactions. Like on that gold, maybe on the deer lol. I think you can more easily dive a secondary TC than primary for sure. But it's like if you think about the linear motion of this matchup, what's expected is like if I see 2 TC and I'm French, I'm expecting you to build spears and guard the second TC because I can dive the second TC because you only have 8 garrison slots. That's what made Luciferon's approach really quite genius, actually. Blacksmith dropped on the front, just say, hey, I'm definitely getting under mesh. Steel Dagger being prepped by B. Wonder if he'll rush towards siege engineering here. Double racks next to the TC, so triple and toll. Looks like he's just trying to idle it out. Let's go start diving a bit deeper. Maybe overly ambitious there, but Chivalry lets you do these things. Or it'll get healed off. But be a bit careful with your archers, because they are now at risk. And there's not many of them, actually. What? Did he lose some to a raid? I'm looking down here to see just in case, but I don't think so. I mean, Luciferon's count looks really good, guys. 10 eco ahead. Military advantage. I mean, most of his military is knights, so don't discredit that. You can actually see it in the army value. He's still ahead by over 1,000. The cool thing for him as well is, like, if Luciferon has to keep defending here, these are tiny choke points where archers are better because melee is limited. And the thing that matters there is double count, right? Is that B has better quality melee, and you're leveraging less melee onto each other in a fight, right? So although, like, oh, the spears are infinite, sure, they're going to get cleared faster than a knight roll. What will be interesting, though, is if Luciferon opts for phalanxing. Would it be worth it to send a few horsemen to try and cut out archer reinforcements? Yeah, and I think he's been trying up here. But it looks like B has been waiting and then pulling archers in small bursts. In fact, he really doesn't have many archers left. He's got a small trickle, but the count is insanely low. It's mainly just knights now. I don't know. This is looking a bit old now for B. Could he try for a tech out? Sometimes French players will just try to bypass the age at this stage. But when your opponent builds mass melee, that feels really dangerous. Because it opens you up to a full dive. And there's the phalanx. Okay, yeah, he's going for it. What, Frey? You're back. Yeah, without food this time. Now, the interesting thing is, like, a lot of players in this type of position would probably consider starting towards that tech up you mentioned. B's kind of the exception. The problem with the exception is, like, you can catch people off guard. But also, when everyone knows you're the exception. That's the thing, like, you know, if you played against B's Malians, he loses 20 Sofa. It's like the only player in competitive that would then build 20 more Sofa in field range. So Luciferon has to be aware of that. It's like, even if B looks like he's in a position that he's going to have to castle, there's a good probability that he does not. Yeah, we can hear the bell, darling. It's very loud. You goofball. Who has the better micro in these two? It's tight. They're both the best performing micros this tournament, for sure. Freya, okay, that's enough. It's too much ringing. Very loud. Yeah, be careful you scratch. Knights being forced to retreat here. The archer count, not that impressive. The spears, yeesh. The spears, they're getting the fight they need. With phalanx as well, that's a lot of burst. B, I think it might just be dead. I mean, military count is comparative, but... Actually, no, he only lost like 4 or 5 knights. Sorry, I've got someone yelling in my ear. What, Frey? Yeah. That's big and that's little, yeah. Just keep pointing the monitors. Okay, so it looked bad at first to B, but in fairness, he didn't really lose that many knights. The spear count is shrinking. The horsemen are non-existent, so archers kind of get to frontline now, weirdly enough. Okay, so the circle. I think the problem here now for Luciferon is it just feels like you're going to have to blob an insane amount of spears, which is quite ridiculous. And B kept the knights. Like, this is the thing that makes French disgusting in these situations. Because all that damage, like, you know, if this was Roos, okay, all those knights won, but they're almost dead. Now then, no, look at him. Look at him. It's like it never happened. Does catch him with a remass on horseman, at least. I mean, I really thought the spears were going to clear that for a second. Like, you saw it as well, right? Like, it was 3 layers deep. They were attacking. They had minimum downtime between strikes. And Luciferon now with a 20 worker lead. I mean, you look at this, you go, like, surely. But there's problems afoot. The Knights on the north side finds the gold, raids it out. Pathing also, what the hell is going on there? No textiles either is painful. And the main fight is edging towards the food. I'm a little bit worried Luciferon is going to need farms, and a lot of them. Yeah, and he only has 5 right now. More workers going down on the secondary TC. Great micro away. B just pulls away just before he loses that one knight. Shrinks the gap between them. He's got the boar, he's got the deer, the berries as well. Like, this is the danger point for Luciferon, is having to go mass farms. Yes, darling. That's cool. Careful. Yeah, you bike really good. They keep healing? Yeah, that's the whole point, right? That's why French can play feudal longer than basically any other civ in the game. And also keep in mind, another civ would be, what, an extra 10 workers behind at this point? But that's the value of the second TC, of the, like, the primary TC, or TCs in general for French producing quicker. Great towards the workers, double outpost defense. Luciferon does need this as padding to keep the military bloating. B, is he thinking? No, I don't think he's thinking Castle Age here. He's still committed. Flashing the choke point. But be careful the double archer defense here with the towers. Oh, that's sick. Now, this is what I've been praising B for. He's better than any other player at doing this, dragging attention from parts of the army. Doesn't get the re-engage this time around, but like he's been doing that consistently throughout playoffs, is especially with knights, pulling 20 units with one knight and then turning on his opponent. So Luciferon needs to be switched on. Because even in like one of the most dominant games, actually, out of Marine Lord, that almost was the detail that backfired and cost him it all. How many stables are we at now? I feel like it's got to be 6. Oh, only 3. That's surprising. Just the position and building them in is getting a bit weird, right? And there we go, that knight again. It just keeps doing it. Because the exploitive thing about this is not just for a direct dive in with his knights. He has archers his opponent doesn't. So any situation where you can drag your opponent to the sides is exploitative. Right? I remember years ago, like when I discovered this was like Dawn of War 1. And I started playing Tau, and you used to have this strategy, because their units sucked in melee, you'd build 2 ranged stacks, and one would run in circles while the other one shot the enemy, and it was super effective. It was like a noob trap, perfect noob trap. Now, these guys aren't noobs, but it makes you feel like a noob when you're stuck with mass melee like this, and the knight now, whoop! Okay, good reaction by Luciferon Shiv's OP, especially when you get Bloomery. And he has walled up that area now, so has the protection. Every time you think B's going to tech up, he renews. 40 knights soon. And a slip through. 6 that could do a lot of damage here. The main clash comes through as well. The knights spread out. B is done with waiting. This is the break point. He gets in on the workers now. The harassment's going to be big. A few knights to drag the spear's attention for longer. The main fight, a dominant win. 40 knight versus 40 spears. Outcome, pretty dead obvious. It's what we've come to expect. And a bloodbath over here. Several workers going down. The main army has crumbled. And this is the difference between him and others. Most French players would have thought about Castle at 25, definitely 30 knights. But B never stopped feuding until Luciferon tapped out. That was a cool game. Oh, Freya, you gotta be careful, darling. You guys, you don't want to see to the side of me. It's such a mess. She stacked all of her bikes there. I can see you're making a ridiculous line with your bikes. Yes, it's a traffic jam. I've called that one the man who never leaves H2. All right, so that brings us up to match point now, doesn't it? Well, he never got a single camel because he needs Castle Age. Are you getting your earbuds mixed up, sir? I think you are, aren't you? Oops. Camel Riders are locked to age 3 with Abbasids. Yes, ring, ring, we see you, Frey. Oh, Camel Arch. Oh, sorry, yeah. My brain went Camel Rider. No, you're right. Camel Arch. Yeah. I guess it's because the Archer count's so high. Fair point. My bad, my bad. I think when your opponent has mass archers, because Cam Archers, for that aura to be effective, you have to be so close to the front. Where Cam Archers are really good is in melee versus melee. Because Cam Archers are pretty glass cannony, right? Is it 145 HP, I want to say? No, I think it's 180 maybe. But like against 20 plus archers, doing 5 damage after reductions, that's going to be 100 damage done. So you basically, you get 2 shots and dead. So I think maybe for Luciferon, especially in a game where you're struggling with food, the issue is you need to have like 4 or 5 of them maybe. I think that's probably why he didn't, if I had to like attune a guess. Sorry. Sorry, you're all right. I debate myself with the statement. I mean, I'm a little bit distracted by someone who keeps yelling dad every 2 seconds. No, sit. Do not stand on your bike. Dangerous. Like, seriously, guys. Hold on a second. I'll show you what the side to me looks like. Just a line of bikes. Which she keeps ramming into me. What, Frey? Because I did. Alright, let me update score. What? Score, I said. Love you so much. More like Mummy wants to dock parental responsibilities and has sent her out here. By the way, Mummy, you're coming in here later and checking for any food and then cleaning up. Right now, she's like, crap. Well, don't... Oh, you sent her out here with food. You know the rules. Even I rarely eat out here for that reason. Freaking ants everywhere. Yeesh. All right, you going? All right, love you. Bye. Go get Mummy to play with you. Instead of her sitting on the PC watching car boot vloggers. Order the Dragon's funky, yeah. But so's Jean. Like, wait, what? Hold on, what did I just tune into here? One and all, welcome back to the channel in what could be the last game of the grand final showdown that could see B claim his first ever S-tier tournament in a LAN environment. This is crazy. Order the Dragon versus Jean is not really the combo meal I was expecting on either side of this affair. But Jean definitely has been a staple for the Spaniards. We are on 4 lakes of all maps. B gets Order the Dragon. That's got to feel better, though, right? On a map like this? I'm wondering, what can Jean really do? No China, no KT. KT was used on Holy Island, and I think China, if it wasn't banned at the start of the series, would have been the snipe pick. Because remember, we have a snipe system here. So we just stick to the 2x speed. 4 Lakes has been seeing quite a lot of usage in this tournament, actually. And usually the way it works, I feel like most games, bar 1, have been resolved between the 20 and 30-minute mark. So we'll be expecting something similar to come out here. But I wonder if, like, for B, the goal is just to rush castle. Like, get your pond set up, but rush castle, and don't really aggro much. Because there is a risk. The problem you have here is, like, Jean, especially range Jean, is never really going to overkill anything she attacks. And that's interesting. Lame's the deer. Wait, is he applying to attack? I'm trying to think why else you'd lame deer than that you're planning to block docks. All right. Consider me locked in and curious. We'll just stick to the 2x. Actually, we're going to go 4 because the thing about 4 lakes is basically nothing is going to happen at this stage now until feudal. There's been no Dark Age commitment. They're both setting up ponds. Fishing count is neck and neck right now, but double dock commitment for Lucifron to mirror that. Cool thing about playing Jean/French, you do get the housing effect here, so you get more pop space by doing this. Makes it a bit more efficient to blob docks. Notice he moves 1 fishing boat out here already. That means he'll scout any cheesy dock drop early on. And yeah, like I like that. Lucifron, he checks and he'll probably not try to pull now that he sees there's a fishing boat there because the reaction speed could be quick enough for me. But we'll slow down now. We have got rats coming through. It is going to be the good of spears. Makes sense. You are up against French knights after all. Attack? Nah, dude. You gotta get your fish. More fish needed. Hold your fish. Pretty much what everyone does on this map. I'm trying to think, like, have we had many games recently that have been resolved in, like, the Dark Age or anything? Not on this map, I don't feel. Definitely feels pretty rare. Like, Mongols is the one that potentially does it, but Mongols inherently falls back to just booming their food instead. John, he went melee. Interesting. Well, actually, no. I guess not that interesting. I thought range on could kind of be fascinating, but the problem with going range on here, guys, is that range on, 1 horseman kills her. Wolves deserve to give 1 XP. Nope. I was actually the biggest arguer for wolves giving 0 XP in, I think, the entire community. Like, literally, day 1 of getting hands-on with Jean, my feedback to devs is that wolves should not give XP. And here's the reason. It adds way too much RNG, one way or the other, to Jean. You either find all the wolves and win the game, or you find no wolves and lose the game. So you need to detach wolves XP from her entirely. Because I think it was like 12 XP or some crap originally. 1, by the way. B has won 4 games so far in this series. Lucifron's run 2. That's what the score at the cops for. Outpost coming up now. He has added in the stables. So it won't just be a fast castle there, right? So hard to get kills on these villagers too. Gilded villagers, remember, they have 65 HP by default, so a little bit fatter. Don't want to fat shame him. Fishing has stalemate now at 14-14. Yeah, so he's just going to raid with Gilded Horsemen and defend with Spearmen then. This makes it a bit tricky for Lucifer to get, like, archers together for a go. He doesn't know the fast castle build order. That's true. He's like, oh, wow, I could use 1,800 resources to go Castle Age, or I could build 10 more units. 10 more units does sound pretty good. He reaches castle by accident. That's not true. Sometimes he runs out of population space, okay? Like, oh no, I've arrived at 200 pop. Well, I guess I better click that button now that increases 2 to 3. 2 to 3 doesn't sound like a lot. This is a bulky army, though. I mean, a heavy investment, right? This is basically 10 spears, 4 horsemen so far. John has to be really careful because all these units have high base damage, so they do burst through her quite quick. And her cleaves are a tickle. 20 damage against 180 HP doesn't really register. And for B, like the way he wants to play this, you want to poke, but you don't want to get forced into regular poking. And what I mean by that is like knights will heal, your units will not. Because although it takes a long time for your health bars to deplete, when they get low and they all just disappear, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. It's like killing knights. Oh, the body block. Oh, the body block? Quite get it. Yeah, that was a little bit mischievous and greedy. Does pull the spears back in time. Might be worth putting this Gilded Spearman at the back now. Like, not even having him in the frontline fight, because it's just XP burn. Cool idea, though. And I think now the real goal is castle. Holding food, starting to stack up gold. So pesky they don't die. Exactly. Like, that's why Lucifer wants to keep raiding. He wants poke, 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 because eventually those health bars will deplete fully. While these ones will just keep refilling. Horsemen are creeping, by the way. Double Gilded Horseman's pretty spooky. No textiles, you can 2-hit kill workers. I think, did Lucifer see it? Oh, no. Scout snipe? Nah, it looks like the scout will get away. Gilded Horseman will keep rotating. Denial of the front wood line is pretty big here, with the Arden Chapel buff now being removed from the equation. It's going to be a rotation. Maybe he thinks about like siege engineering and just denying docks. That would be huge. Horseman now dive in. Shivs out against ponies? I mean, normal ponies, sure, but guys, this is like 4 horsemen, not 2. Knight does scare him off in the end, but that's a double kill for B. And Castle Age about to be triggered. Yeah, and Jean can't really dive there. If she tries to dive in placements, she's going to get sniped straight away. She's public enemy number 1. And this is what I meant about being weird. That's why most all the dragon players just want to get the hell out of H2. Most civs did against her. Do you guys remember when we first saw Jean versus Ottomans in pro play? Mr. versus Marine Lord, and Marine Lord won the game by building a single outpost on his gold. Jean couldn't do anything. It's kind of similar here. Weirdly enough, though, he's target firing the knights. Oh, switching over to Jean now. Dive comes through. Army has to come out, and the spear's in. Divine Restoration, but not going to last very long here. Gets himself 1 kill. Spears pulled to the north side to try and hold the choke point. Villagers have to scarper. Jean is not being target fired down, though. He's trying to deal with the knights. So Jean's just kind of farming up. Target fire comes in on her now. She's dead. Knights are starting to flop. Still, this is painful. The Burgrave is not being built right now. XP injection was big. And more troops are on the way, but what a play. B, with so little troops left, does the one thing he can. He cuts reinforcements. The horsemen stop the extra archers coming in. They catch what remains of the dive. The knights now have to recommit, but they've got no backup and will lose to just 1 or 2 Gilded Spearmen. Tech up is complete. Army decimated on both sides, but one player now has the ability to get Giga Castle Knights. Not just that. Spearmen to boot. I mean, you could actually even think about maybe like Men at Arms. Probably a little bit taboo of an idea against mass French Knights. So yeah, he just goes spears. Gilded Crossbows are going to be the broken thing. Gilded Crossbows annihilate Feudal Knights. It's depressing to watch. It's like, oh, he shot me 4 times. I'm dead. Seriously, this has been the MVP in this game for me. These horsemen, again, into the economy. Some quick walls coming through to create a safety point. It's just the idle time, the reactions, the cut of reinforcements. Like, imagine how different this looks if those horsemen get sacked on the night dive, and then he still has 7, 8 archers as Jean to dive with. Scary a little bit for B, right? Because, like, producing new units takes a long time for Order the Dragon. Luciferon is starting to save up for his own age up now. Food eco worries me a bit. 27 to 21 is a lofty advantage, right? That's almost 33% increase over your opponent. Don't ever go spears to defend your base. Yeah, why would you do that? I mean, it's like doubly damning with Jean because you want to consecrate buildings to be efficient. Do you really ever want to be consecrating a racks here? Amazing how little B lost that dive. Yeah, it's because of this, right? I was just double check in. Glad you brought it up. He did get textiles. Pretty sure he had it for that dive because he should have lost probably 5 more villages at least. Consecrating Iraqs is pretty decent. It can be, but like if your opponent's going to build men-at-arms, gilded crossbows, I guess. Or like, do you... I guess you can kind of justify it, like spear on spear. You know what I think it is? Like, I think you have a point in this matchup of like the racks can be pretty cool against John. John against Order Dragon, rather. But in most matchups, you're thinking, do I really want to build spears? Does that make sense? Like, it is weird. Because in terms of like the food discounts, you're correct. It's juicy. I think where, like, if I'm thinking John building racks, what I'm looking for is the reason to build champions. And that's where I'm like, in this matchup, it just doesn't exist, right? Like, there's some spears, but there's also gilded crossbows. Nope. And gilded units are still being a pain in the ass. -1 worker and a knight. It's Guild Hall. So Luciferon, time could be on his side, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. Yeah, like, we're not making a special bolognese here. There's no bezel. There's no time. I'm sorry. I had to make that terrible joke. There is only attack. And B, by the way, he went for Inspired Warriors buff, didn't he? I could have sworn I saw it. But he didn't pull any forward. Still, gilded crossbows are crazy. Look at that damage. 35 per strike. And do you want to know why I'm worried now, guys? How does Jean get level 3? Like, can anyone figure that one out? Oh, and let's time out spoilers, because you're a dumbass. Why do you come into a chat and time out and, like, spoil things for people? What was that guy's problem? Probably no one pays attention to him in life, so me banning him is, like, literally the only attention he's gotten all day. Timing him out, I'm generous. Should be a ban. John is going to get level 3 in about, what, 3 minutes? Yeah, but you have to be passive. If you walk out with Jean, she just dies. Because like, this is the negative of going heavy and your opponent going age 3. Crossbows kill her. It's so depressingly bad. Like, you're going to take 32 damage from each crossbow shot. So 10 crossbows insta-kill her. And they have 6 tower range. You can't walk into the fight with her unless you can secure the level first. And because of the state of their armies, you can't capture sacred sites to get it faster either. And one horseman gave a lot of XP. Yep, gave 24 XP, right? Still 60 away. Passive trickle, that means, what? Minute? I think it's a minute and a half? By the time you're now going to be fighting, B's going to have, what? Close to 20 crossbows and 15 men-at-arms? I wouldn't mind seeing B adding in more spears, to be honest. Is there no chivalry? There is. It's just because we're not... Look, if we switch over, you'll see. You have to be on the correct player. So Luciferon, he steps up the fight. But guys, if you're ever in a game where Order the Dragon has more physical units than you do, something has gone wrong. That is a scary position. And they are close, right? Like 72 to 41. Crossbows. She's gone. I rest my case. I think when these civs first came out, I dubbed this the worst civ for Jean to get stuck playing against. Because Gilded Crossbows is the best unit Order the Dragon has. And a dock sneak. Oh, this could be a game changer. That's his primary pond, right? He doesn't have fast-moving units, so that should be going up. Was that in the bottom corner? He bought her back, right? No, wait, he didn't? Did he already... Where is she? Did he already buy her back once? He must have. That's what I mean. Like, you look away for a second, she just dies. Now, looks like it's going to be dive on dive. That dock is up. Lucifron hasn't built anything out yet. He's switching Arbitrier. That takes time. Gilded Knight. What? Hello, wake up. Can we leave, please? No, we've locked the door. You just keep chopping trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Was that 5? 4 or 5? Either way, good find there. Knights now with the counter dive, but Sprune placements are there. Crossbow spears coming back to defend. He's got the Burgrave as well, so he can produce those spearmen quicker. And meanwhile, like, what do you do against that? That's everything. Gilded crossbows, camping the base, camping production. 140 HP. A TC doesn't kill them straight away. And now, well, it looks like it's bow on boat affair because P also snuck into the pond and he's diving straight for the gold workers. GG. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. B, your Homestead Cup champion. A long, long journey comes to an end. 5 years. This man has been building this moment. He finally got into a LAN, and he finally proved to everyone that he is not just wanting, but deserving. But yeah, don't be an asshole and come in and ruin the outcomes of things for people. Just because you've seen something or know something. Dude, like, it's like being that douchebag that, like, someone has just finally discovered Community. And you come in, you're like, oh, this is the episode where they do the... Why? Why, bro? Now someone can't enjoy it. Just keep your mouth shut. It's not hard to not spoil an outcome. Why are we watching this? Because I didn't watch it live. A lot of people didn't watch it live. A lot of people don't even know the outcome. And your whole point of saying something achieves what? Self-gratuity as a bit of a douchebag? I don't understand. I'll never understand people that do that. It's like, do you think you look smart because you know the outcome? You don't, right? That's like me saying, yeah, like, hey, I've already watched, like, Game of Thrones. By the way, that guy's going to die and that one's going to be king. It's like, you already watched it. That's not smart. You've just now ruined it for someone else. Which I guess with Game of Thrones Season 8, it's not a bad thing. But still, just don't do it. It's not hard. Yes. Now the people know B wins. You could have even asked that question after the game. Like, why are you watching this tournament? We've already seen the outcome. I don't know, because a lot of people haven't seen it and want to watch it, would have been the response. Instead, you just had to make it a docu type moment because you stupidly came in and just decided to be an ass. There you go. QB is fine. B wins. See, you can say it now because we now know. I'll never get those people. I'll never understand them. Dude, I used to have to face that stupidity in Dota 2. There were people that, for some reason, they would go into a tournament chat with 7,000 plus people watching. And they've been watching in game. And they were like 2 minutes ahead. An epic fight had just happened already for them. And they go, Alliance wins! And it's like, is it some gratitude, like gratification, you being the first person to say it? I don't understand. You've just ruined it for like the other few thousand people that are still catching up. They've got 2 minutes of gameplay left, right? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. And all I'm going to say is count your lucky stripes. I only gave a timeout. I felt generous today. Still can't believe how B pulled it back and went on to win the whole thing. Dude, I was just shocked as you were. I wanted to believe in him getting into it, but I was like, I'd heard rumors he hadn't been able to practice as much. And I'm like, B has had an issue like turning up. But then bam, just does it. Incredible. And so well deserved, man. Like, for the amount of time he's committed to this game over the years, he's been in waiting for so long. Incredible. How to get the games without overlay? Shout out to Cascade. Cascade, what he done is he created this thing. Hold on a sec, I'll quickly show you. So if I close the game. So the way it works is he created this little replay caster. And it has all the games for us. And we can click them, and then it loads them out of the replay files here. Really cool. So you can use, we can use overlay also? Yeah, so I can like, it basically loads my game up and loads the game. Please share the link. It is on Reddit. So if you go across to Reddit, let me see if I can find it for you guys. Yeah, like this is the one I was saying could have the potential to be the best Age of Empires 4 LAN. Because that's actually really balanced. 50k for AoE2, 30k for AoE4. And I've actually, I don't know. So it's only 3 days, 4 days. That makes it sound like they're going to be running both tournaments simultaneously. So I don't know how that's going to function now that I think about it. Maybe I've hyped it up wrong for AoE4, but 1 second. Let me see if I can find it for you. It's here somewhere. Okay, 1 sec. I know where it'll be. Because someone talked about it here. Here you go. So this is what you want. So that'll let you download them all. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll basically unzip it. And the way it'll work is you'll get them in like the file here. You'll just click the replay cast. It'll open here. And then all you need to do is click the play for the button of the button for the game that you want to open. Love that he won with his own style. Hell yeah. There was some like B classic type ones there. AoE2 fans will make it a toxic experience for everyone. No, dude, can we stop doing that? Because, okay, here's my counter argument. You saying that is just as toxic as what you're trying to perceive. Do you not see this self-fulfilling cycle of toxicity both ways? I wish more people be level-headed about this. I know pro players in AoE2 that love AoE4 as well, and they can just keep a level head. But then there's fans there that will make snide comments about AoE4. And then mutually, there's AoE4 fans that will make snide comments about 2. They are both great games. They have both proven themselves to be great games. You know? Like... Sorry, it's like this inability to meet in the middle and realize that 2 games can exist, be great, and not have to duck each other over is toting the crap out of me. Honestly, all RTSs need to get off the high horse. All of them. Because if you're in there like, my RTS is the best, then great. Just like struggle to exist on the side. Really, and DreamHack keeps proving this, by the way, year after year with different games. The future of esports, really, in a sustainable manner, is bringing them all together under one roof as much as possible. That's where DreamHack is basically in the perfect position where other esports tournament organizers are going to end up in coming weeks. But like, it's actually what RTS should be doing. Like, I tried to get funding for... I really want to do this for AoE4, but I want to do a Creators Cup and get creators in from different RTSs to play. Because the proof of the pudding is there. Just look at the success Grubby's had with this, right? Like, was it 10 or 15k? And he got some of the biggest creators you can imagine playing. That's great. AoE2 is probably now going to do this. I want to take it a step further and say, like, actually, you should have a LAN where there's a Warcraft tournament, there's an AoE2 tournament, an AoE4 tournament, a StarCraft tournament. And then you have some fringe incoming ones that are trying to get their foothold, like maybe, for example, Dawn of War 4 when it comes out. Right? And you create a holistic event there. And it's genius to do it that way. Harry's doing it in June? Yeah. Like, I literally, like, I pitched this to Microsoft before the controversy, like, a year ago. I was like, I want 10k. I want to run a creator event in AoE4. My viewership's not big, but their viewership will be. And that was the goal, is that, you know, we go and we get... You know, I already had some people in mind. I mean, like, Bo Cohen, I think would have been a cool one. I would love to see him come, because he's played a little bit of the game and does enjoy it, but he's more casual. Get someone like Lexiav in, who's having a great time with Ordinary at the moment. Yamato was actually one of the type of people I was like, that would kind of be intriguing, right? You get these people from strategy games or strategy aligned games. And then you also have other events where it's just complete strategy noobs. Like, you bring in, I don't know, like, or Scump. I don't know if Scump would ever, but you get that example, like someone who has no background in strategy at all, and get them into. And you build a whole community event that plays out across a month. And the worth for them isn't just the viewership on the tournament. The worth for them comes outside the tournament as well, of like, this guy's now streaming the game to practice the game sort of thing, right? That's the other thing that was great for Warcraft, is how active the directory was in the build-up, when people were practicing and getting coaching and everything else. Crazy that more scenes aren't doing it. Do I have any plans to revive midweek tournaments or anything like that? Where would the money come from? There's like multiple issues there, right? If the money was to come from Microsoft, we'd have to wait another year because funding's locked in now until like May 2027, right? And I'm not footing the bill in the meantime. I'm just not. Dude, I already like hit burned money on AoE4 over the years, right? I'm not gonna keep doing that now because it's insane. And then the other way then is like viewership gets high enough that I can bring in sponsors that want to engage. And that's a mixed bag. Like, we're not that big of a scene. I believe Homestead Cup already highlighted they probably haven't broken even on theirs, I think is the rumor, which wouldn't surprise me. For their LAN. So like that's a challenge because it's already challenging to get brands to invest in smaller scenes because even though the price is smaller, they get a CBA about it. Like if a brand wants to invest in esports, they'll go drop $1 million on being a sponsor of League of Legends because it's just like, that's done. We got our exposure numbers. So then you're targeting the other end of the spectrum, which is conversion-based brands. So like, you know, if insert brand came, like if Corsair came in, they're like, yeah, we need you to shift 100 keyboards across the court. And if you don't hit that quota, they're definitely not renewing. But also like, and then you kind of need track record with that approach anyway. And while I think we do good for our size, there is also like examples where we haven't, where like, you know, a brand comes in, they don't see an ROI. Yeah, it's tricky. Because, like, for example, you guys were great without an issue with PC Specialists, and then they done 3 months of us as sponsored, but then it didn't renew. I never checked what the sales were in the end, but I imagine, like, especially with the prices of PCs, it was hard to justify. And the thing is, a lot of brands are moving that way. So, like, this year, a lot of brands have put, I think they've close to doubled the influencer marketing budget. The problem is, it's a test of the entire scene to prove that the influencers can shift product. Because if they can't, those big brands are then going to pull the money out. Sorry, we're going like deep into stuff. But I'm explaining like the logic of like how would KP go and run tournaments again, sort of thing, you know? And it's like hard because I know there's a lot of you support me and I appreciate it, but like to feel a few $100 a month to go into tournaments doesn't sound like a lot, but it kind of is. And then also it goes back to like I was putting in 50 plus hours a week. I think it must have worked out on screen and behind the scenes to make KPMM work. And it just wasn't delivering the money to even pay bills. I enjoy some AO2 once in a while, but I really don't like the sanctimonious behavior when other games are involved in the same tournament. They get so annoyed. I think it's an issue of like explanation. So like, Dimu had the right idea with Red Bull Wallow, where he was trying to explain basic things in a basic way because the people watching did not understand AoE4. My feedback constantly with AoE4 is it's way too zoomed out, and that's why people who watch AoE2 have no clue what's going on. It's just too diluted. There's too much crap on screen. It's ADHD brain. So you like when you start to empathize and think about things in these ways, like, you know, I remember I had a talk with some AoE2 people in London. I was like, well, if you think about it, it has the same track record of spears counter cavalry counters archers counters spears. And although there's unique units, at least that's your anchor point. Like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's like, yeah, because it doesn't really get highlighted because it's obvious to us. And then also when you're watching the game, it's not obvious because you're so zoomed out, you can't see crap. So like these are type of 4 exercises that don't get done enough to help people. That's why also I've been like adversely against adding more information onto the screen in AoE4. We already have way too much information as it is for the average person, and it's not cascaded, which is bad. So like cascaded as in, you know, you could have it occasionally pop out this extra info, but when it's there by default, it becomes confusing. Same idea of like, you know, when it pulls up like win rates and everything in different esports, they don't keep that stat there. That pops up and then fudges off. The reason you do that is because if you leave it on the screen, the person now dribbling on their keyboard, they're confused. They don't like. Have you guys ever looked at someone like stock sheets? You ever seen those things where like someone print screens how their stocks are performing. And if you know nothing about stocks, you're like, what does any of this mean? Right? Even if you know a little bit about stocks, you're like, that's a lot of numbers. What are we doing? Right? And that's where like newbie streams are invaluable. I think it's like very handy to have people involved in major broadcasts with different esports that actually don't know much about the game. Usually as your hosts and whatnot, because they ask different questions. They ask questions in a way that relates to the person that doesn't put 200 hours a month into that game, right? And that is very important and underrated actually in a lot of esports scenes these days. So yeah, I don't know. The other thing as well is like, I hear this argument out of AV4 fans about AV2 fans being like this or like that. But then like by the way that it gets talked about, you're just as bad as the person you're trying to like judge or be frustrated with, right? And it's like, like I said, I think in any situation where you want to get frustrated or whatever, try and look at both sides before coming to a final conclusion. There is a fair point that like Red Bull World Law's example was an Age of Empires 2 tournament that got AOE4 added onto it. And they do have a fair point that their numbers are definitely much bigger than ours. I do think AOE4 should be there, and there needs to be a reasonable approach, and I think the most recent one done that well. But like, we just need to get past this stupid tribalism that someone's like, it always reminds me of that, you know, when you have like those family feuds that go back generations, it's like, well, the reason it started is because X done Y. And they go, well, no, the reason it started is because Y done X. And then it's just like, there's a twist in the whole idea of who threw the first rock. Just stop throwing freaking rocks. And then we don't have to argue about who threw the first one. Like, I'll repeat it for everyone at the back. RTS is too small of a genre to be arguing amongst itself. Your games can do fine out of the like own merit and credit instead of needing to take a crap on the opposition. You know, like taking the crap on the opposition to try and get ahead is like the lowest form of success ever. It can work, you know. Politics has proven that more than anything else. But you can succeed without it, and you will have a much more positive and impressive community in the long term by doing so, is my take. And that is from a guy who acts in both scenes. So I like to think, although I do a lot more AOE4 stuff, my own content, I'm probably the least biased example to talk on this. And even I'm telling you that everyone just needs to grow up and just get on with it. Yeah. That, I think, summarizes my take. What do you think, guys? Do we play Old and Era, or do we check out the third place show match between Beastie and Anatan? Ordinaro? Oh yeah, I forgot about that yesterday. Was it Ordinaro was the final thing said? I think so, right? I'm checking back now. Yeah, it was... No, it was Odinaro. Odinaro is what we got to. Ordinaro, and then it was Odinaro. Ones if we play some Ordinaro. Twos if we check out the third place meme match between Beastie and Anatan. I mean, we could always have Beastie Anatan for another day, I guess. No one has an opinion? Come on, guys. Everyone's bugged out. It's like, the streamer is not being toxic to a different community. Peace. I need my drama. All right, I'll put a poll up for you. Have a poll. What to do? Golden Era 1v1. It would be fun to play some games. I guess I could have added Deadlock there. Ooh. Yeah, the thing that I'll never stop pitching is that what we need is a giant RTS fairground. You know, like an event that literally has 5 or 6 games there. Because, like, what I'm trying to think, what was it DreamHack had? DreamHack had Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Halo. Was Fortnite on the DreamHack in Atlanta? I think it might have been. Right, and the Counter-Strike was a major. The Call of Duty was a major. A lot of small content creators popping off Deadlock on the mode could be a good choice. Yeah. I only play one hero. That's not true. I play other ones, but I only play one well. I haven't been able to put enough hours in at the moment. Yeah, Deadlock still needs some time to cook, but it'll get there for sure. Do I need to do another poll including Deadlock then? Alright, I'll do another poll including Deadlock. You guys can have choices. What to do? Play Deadlock. Play Olden Era. Watch. Share match from weekend. There. Try again. Yeah, I think Deadlock, like I said, just needs more time to cook. But there's been some cool announcements. The first LAN got announced for America a little bit later this year. And I think there'll be more to come after that in different places, which is cool. I wouldn't mind, like, having this channel be certain days where we play games, but then you have a balance between, like, casting some AoE4 and then casting some, like, you know, Deadlock. Describe the old poll, says you want to play Deadlock. No, I just want to give people the option. And it's hilarious how different it is now. Showmatch got nothing now, and it's got Deadlock and Olden Era at 50-50. I figured it was cool to add that, because we've been talking about Deadlock a lot as well. No, I'm open to, like, all of them. I think we've got, with the show match, like, we could always do it another day if we don't do it today anyway, because there is until end of month is apparently when the patch is coming. Deadlock has 4 votes? Holy crap. You guys really want Deadlock now, huh? Have I bigged myself up? Is that the problem? You guys like, yeah, KP better be good at this now. If he's not good, I don't care. What rank am I, actually? I haven't looked at my Deadlock stats. Let's check Stat Locker. I am Arcanist. Am I Arcanist? Oh, no, I'm an Oracle. Is Oracle good or bad? Oracle's low, no? Did I fall in ranks? I was higher before. Oh, no, Oracle's pretty high. That's like top 10%, right? Top 20, top 10%. Yeah. Oracle's mental. Yeah, so how's that? And I haven't been back playing that long. Yeah, I'm Oracle despite the fact I just took all these defeats. I've been getting some of the worst, most toxic games at the moment, I swear. Oh, it hasn't had my games from like last night. Maybe it'll be a little bit worse. Yeah, so we were trending towards like Oracle 4, Oracle 5, like here. But I don't know, dude. Like, I thought I was in low pro because the quality of the game since the most recent release have been bad. I have not enjoyed a lot of my my teammates at the moment. All right, well, let's switch over then. We'll do some Deadlock. You guys, oh, sec. Procaster, turning pro one-trick Calvin. There you go. Perfect. Capitalization everywhere to just mold people a little bit. All right, guys, so we're going to do a little bit of Deadlock. Doing it a bit diff. Oh, I need to think about where everything is, because I need to place myself different in the scenes, don't I? What's on the background? Oh, it's the camera. All right, one sec. Let me just quickly load into Sandbox so I can see where all the UI elements are. God, this is such a good song. Oh, no. We need to do another vote. I need to add in... you know what I need to do, guys? I need to add in... Red alert. All right, so I think the best position is bottom right, isn't it? I feel like I'm forgetting something that goes in the bottom right normally. Am I? Doesn't seem like it right now. Dude, I don't know. Ever since coming back and playing a few games of poker, I'm just deeply depressed. I don't know. Is poker actually good? Have got any deadlock mains? I've been a little bit underwhelmed. I think you have to rotate very early, very fast, and constantly, or just like... You can split push, I guess. Split push is good. But you know how I know things have gotten serious? People start buying movement disabling abilities. All right. Actually, now that I think about it, YouTube, because YouTube's very weird on this thing, and there's no way to change category. YouTube, if you want to watch us play Deadlock, hop across to the Twitch side. I'm gonna end the stream there. Thank you very much for watching, though. But we'll continue on Twitch. Sayonara.